Hello, and welcome to Nostalgia Marcana. I'm your host, Doug Leaf. Each episode of this podcast, we'll look back on the movies, TV, games, people, and phenomena that we still love talking about all these years later, and ask ourselves why these bits of pop culture still enchant us today. This week, we'll be revisiting...
Let's do it.
In the criminal justice system, there are two separate yet equally important groups. The police, who investigate crimes, and the screenwriters, who ensure those police are comically mismatched. These are their stories. Today, we're talking about Tango and Cash, a prime example of the 80s buddy cop genre, if ever there was one. So I'm really excited to be digging into this because this is our first buddy cop movie of this ilk that we've done. And to help me do it, I've got two big fans of this franchise. There's only just the one film.
It could have been.
Almost.
In a better world.
In a better world. Well, the voice you're hearing is my buddy, my podcasting partner from our old show, A Podcast But Evil. Please welcome back Dan Oster.
Hey, great to be here.
And our other guest has been on the show many times before, most recently talking about some James Bond stuff, but we've also covered things like Muppet Treasure Island and gone all over the map. So please welcome back to the show, Josh Covel.
Hey, I'm back. You can't get rid of me.
I cannot. You've already done Three Ninjas, so you've kicked your way into our hearts. Before we get going, Josh, tell the good people out in internet land about your shows and what you do.
Sure. So I'm the host of the Still Loading podcast. I describe it as a video game grab bag podcast. It does a little bit of everything. I kind of do deep dives on individual games and talk about their history, their gameplay, like mechanics that I think work and don't work. You know, it's kind of half review, half like history lesson, but done in a more approachable way. But then I also have episodes where I interview people in the industry or I interview authors. I've been doing a lot of authors lately. I don't know when this episode comes out, but I can tell you I've had like 3 episodes within the span of like 5 weeks of where I got review copies of books and interviewing authors all on video game stuff. So so I do tons of interviews with people in the industry, whether it's voice actors, authors, or whatnot. But then I also do weird ideas, which I guess it'll probably be out before this episode comes out, like the Final Fantasy Draft, which is what happens when Final Fantasy and fantasy sports mix, but you don't need to know anything about Final Fantasy to you don't actually have to know anything about fantasy sports to enjoy it. That's what it usually is. You should know a little bit about Final Fantasy. You don't need a lot, but just a little. But yeah, so that's still loading, and then I do, because I think you let me shout it out last time when we talked Bond, I do on my Patreon a monthly movie podcast, which is some stupid pun based off of Still Loading. Like right now it's Still Family and it's all Fast and Furious movies. And then I did James Bond, was Still Bonding. I'm considering doing a Jason Statham marathon. I'll call them Still Stathaming. We'll find out where it goes from there. But yeah, that's over my Patreon, patreon.com/stillloadingpod. And that is my long-winded plug of shenanery that I do.
And I'll just piggyback on that by saying those shows are great. You should listen to them. And I had a lot of fun. I was on Still Loading a while back talking about Myst, and that was a blast.
I need to get you back on the show, and we were talking a bit off mic about the recently announced James Bond video game. And
I just saw like a ad for that. Does that look good?
It looks great. It looks great.
Is they just going with like an original character model for Bond on that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Though watching it, I did a reaction episode on my Patreon that I released for free, and I don't think I brought it up on there, but his accent seems all over the place in that trailer, and I can't tell if it's like an American trying to do an English accent or not, whoever voices him, because it's a little, I don't know if you noticed it, Doug, but it seemed a little all over the place in the trailer.
I'd have to watch it one more time. I only saw it the once, so I was sort of just, everything was flashing in front of my eyes really quickly.
Yeah.
And I was not sure who was even talking at a given point because the way it's edited is, so quick cut. So, I'm curious. I'm sure you can look out on IMDb who they got to be Bond there. But Dan, let me get over to you. Dan, if there's anything you want to plug about things that projects, stuff?
Well, Josh is talking. I was thinking, my cat's name is Mittens. I don't have quite the internet presence that I
What's
once
the
had.
color? What does Mittens look like though? What color is Mittens?
It's a tuxedo cat. No,
There we go.
I'm really into my smart oven. No, I don't have anything I'm really plugging currently at the moment, other than Nostalgia Arcanum. Sometimes I'm on. We've actually got an episode coming out, but you guys, this will have long aired long before this comes out.
Yeah, we're recording this the night before, or the weekend before the Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yes, that's
podcast
coming out
drops.
on Monday, so I'm very excited about that. No, yeah, I'm an avid enjoyer of other people's podcasts, so I support
there you
all
go.
that.
And I know you were both avid enjoyers of Tango and Cash, to bring things back around to where we started.
But which do you like more? We'll have to get to that later. That's too big of a question.
Are you a
to start
Tango
with.
man or a Cash man?
Everybody, there's two types of people in this world. Everybody
Right.
knows this.
People who like to tango and people who like cash.
Right.
I mean, his name is it's just all of it. Okay, yes, we'll get there.
Josh, I'll start with you because this was your brainchild. I just reached out to you and said, hey, you want to come back on the show? What would you want to cover? And you suggested Tango and Cash. So tell me your nostalgic memories of this film and why we're talking about it today.
So it's funny how when you reached out and were asking me like what could you talk about, and my go-tos are always James Bond and Three Ninjas. You can't get me to stop talking about James Bond and Three Ninjas for some reason. But then I was remembering back, like, what are some of my favorite like movies that I like have some connection to? And it's funny, like Tango and Cash, like I'm a sucker for 80s action movies, especially buddy cop movies. I unfortunately did not have the privilege of growing up with 80s movies. I was born in 89, so I missed out on like all the good shit until I obviously watched it later. But growing up, my best friend Justin, who actually started Still Loading with me years ago, and then he kind of stepped aside from it, and he still comes on the podcast every now and then, but he introduced me to Tango and Cash. We would go camping together, like with his family, and it's not like camping. It's more like glamping, kind of. You bring the trailer or you bring the camper to a campground and you plug it into the outlet that's like right there, so you have electricity and you could hook up a hose for like proto running water type of shit. So it wasn't really camping. It was more just kind of like, let's go sleep in a cramped space in a different part with maybe some trees over us. And I remember they had this is pre-HD TVs, so they had just a little old tube TV with a VCR hooked up to it. And I remember him telling me about Tango and Cash, and he really liked it and whatnot. And we were definitely too young to be watching it. I'm going to guess like 14 or 15 or something like that. When you start maybe 16. I don't quite remember. And so we watched it on that like camping weekend, right? But at that time, I was still super religious, grew up very conservative Christian, and I remember when he was telling me about it, it sounded really cool, but me being the goody two-shoes, I was like, is there any nudity in it? And he's like, well, there's like one or two scenes. He's like, all right, then I just said, all right, you tell me when it's coming and I'll look away. A fucking teenager who's like, don't show me boobs. That was me. I was that
I know,
religious.
these are like 80s artificial boobs. I mean,
Yes. And I can't emphasize enough how cringy it makes me feel now, where it's like everything, like any normal kid at that age would be like, I could see boobies. Not me. No, give me Jesus. It's not gonna, I can't look at them. So I did. I didn't. I turned away and I did not look at them during my first watch through of it. Years later, when I started kind of getting into and appreciating like movies that came out before me, like all the 80s movies that I ended up falling in love with, but came out before I was born, I rewatched Tango and Cash. Still had a great time with it. I kind of consider it, without going too far into our overall thoughts of the movie just yet, I kind of consider it like a B tier action movie, a B plus tier action movie, right? Like there's some great stuff in it, but there's a lot of like it's a little cheesy, but I'm excited to break it all down. So that's my personal experience with it, is camping with it, not seeing boobies, and still loving it.
I was going to say, this movie stars Terry Hatcher, a woman whose boobs were the subject of an entire Seinfeld episode. Dan, I'll throw it to you. Tell me your nostalgic memories.
You know, I enjoy this movie. I think Josh is giving it a B+ is very kind.
I would give it a B, but I was expecting everyone to be mad at me for giving it that low of a score.
Well, I think of it as like a kind of a noble failure, but you know, we can get into that. There's a lot to enjoy about it, but I mean, obviously we didn't get a sequel, and it sort of acts like it wants one. I grew up with it. I was young enough, or I am old enough rather, to have watched the 80s movies in the actual 80s, in the decade in which they were intended. And so this one, if I recall correctly, I saw on VHS with my parents. So that's a different upbringing.
Mom, what are these?
Well,
your Catholic parents, by the way. Again.
Well, yeah. Well, one far more than the other. But just put it that way. But you know what I remember from that first viewing, because I was pretty young, was just that they were they were critiquing it the whole time. This is absurd, and of course it's absurd. I mean, that's
absurd.
That's the movie has the internal logic of the movie is non-existent. It's like a live action cartoon in so many ways, and I have to believe this was the movie that like Shane Black was thinking about like almost as much as anything when he wrote Last Action Hero. I mean, there's just so the concept of police work in this is a child's description of what police work is to another child. It's so great. I enjoyed it. I mean, I've always loved Kurt Russell. I don't really think I'm ever unhappy when he shows up in anything.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I knew even at that young age that this movie was just ridiculous, like absolutely not meant to be taken seriously. But I've just grown to have a fondness for it over the years, because it is truly like a very rewarding watch, especially when you get to show it to people who haven't seen it before and they're down for something that's just like the most bonkers copy of a copy of a copy of a buddy cop movie too, right? Like this is not a genre defining film. This is a film that is a consequence of a genre existing.
That's a great way to put it. It's a consequence of a genre.
But it's just so much fun. And I really do believe that Kurt Russell deserves a disproportionate amount of the credit for it being fun. Mm-hmm. I think he's just at the height of his like, oh come on, what? No, Kurt Russell-ness, and it's just so much fun. So yes, that's my kind of first recollection of it. I do own it on DVD, so I do have it.
Yeah, I was thinking because I was reminded of that sketch you wrote. God, what 25 years ago or whatever, however long it was, because you wrote a sketch all about just this guy being overly enamored with Kurt Russell.
It was like one of the first things I ever wrote. I mean, one of the first sketches, not one of the first things I ever wrote. One of the first sketches I ever wrote. Yeah. So, yeah, and I think largely over the years, that's held to be pretty true. He's still a welcome presence, I think, when he shows up on screen.
Yeah, incredibly charming guy. This is actually our first Kurt Russell movie that we've done on the show.
What a way to start off Kurt Russell's career on Nostalgia, right?
Yeah. You're working backwards.
We have another more highly regarded one in the pipeline, I'll reveal.
Not Big Trouble in Little China, not The Thing.
We're starting with Tango Cash, yeah. And I don't have any nostalgic memories to share. This was my first time watching it. I watched plenty of 80s movies like this, in this genre, just not this particular one. My memories of it were mostly just Dan, you talking about it and referencing it.
I know. When Doug reached out to me, he's like, hey, I'm doing a podcast on Tango Cash. Do you want to do it? And I'm like, do I talk about it a lot, or does it just seem like something I would like? And Doug was like, it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. I this felt like it was in your wheelhouse. Like my initial impression of it was just like, if Peter Griffin wrote and directed a movie, it would be this. Like,
absolutely.
It's definitely like I feel like the target audience is like 14 years old. Like,
yes.
You know what I mean? It really feels like just we want these guys to be the coolest cops that a kid could imagine.
And it is over the top, like both in that expression and the film of the same name. You know, like it's got that
I'd
tone.
be down to talk over the top. I have no nostalgia for it, but I watched it years later, and I can't get not Kurt Russell, sorry, Stallone's line of when he's talking about being a truck out of my head. It lives rent free ever since I saw it for the first time.
I always just think of the Norm Macdonald SNL sketch. Do you remember that one where he's like, hey, in the movie, Over the Top. Yeah. It was about a child custody. You know, Kramer versus Kramer was about that. You know, it didn't have it. Arm wrestling.
Yep.
Hearing that arm wrestling child custody movie.
Yeah.
You know, that old genre.
Yeah, exactly. Genre defining. That one is genre defining.
Yeah, so this thing, like, it's over the top. It's really goofy in ways that, like, I kept vacillating between, like, are they going for something that's, like, meta or weird, or is this, like, outsider art and they don't know what they're doing? Are they just...
Was the director, like, just incredibly foreign? That was a thought that I had. Is this guy,
he
like...
is. He's
yeah,
Russian.
like, he's never... You know, I make a movie about American policemen. You know, like, was that part of the problem?
He's Russian.
I looked him up. He started making movies in Russia. He came over here. He made a few movies. Then he went back to Russia and kept making movies. And what's interesting about him was just that he's real pro-Putin now. Like, made a whole bunch of, like, you know, very, like, oh, what a great guy Putin is statements. But it also said that he came out in support of Pussy Riot, if you remember that whole scandal. So it makes you think, like, oh, he was really against him until the horrible fascist government of Russia got to him.
Yeah, exactly. Like, someone making pro-Putin statements is always suspect if you're in Russia.
Or here, for example, if, say, you're in a position of power in the United States of America.
Well, I was even going that. I was thinking less problematic than, you know, the leaders of our country. There's what is it, Alex Ovechkin, the hockey player? Like, he is pro-Putin, but, you know, half his family is still over in Russia, so who knows what he really thinks, because it's not like, he's going to be fine here in the U.S., but, like, who knows about the rest of his family? Anyway, that's a heavy topic.
So, I think that is definitely part of it. I also get the sense that this movie probably had, like, a lot of turnover and who is, like, you know, working on it, and it feels like something that maybe got made a little bit by the skin of its teeth and kind of ended up being a little bit of a hodgepodge as a result of that.
Too many cooks kind of thing.
Yeah. And, like, you know, Stallone, I think at this point had a lot of creative control on stuff. And it kind of feels a little bit like he's making choices that are not necessarily the best choices. Not just acting, but I feel like he's always like messing with scripts and stuff on every movie he's on and stuff.
Well, so there's like I won't say there's fourth wall breaks, but there's some meta jokes, and they're always with Stallone. Like Kurt Russell does
Rambo
not
was
have
a
any.
pussy, right? Isn't that
right?
Famous line from this movie.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff. So I think it's like it is all of that stuff. It's not a cohesive vision. It's not like someone came in and like said like, I know what this movie's about. I know the story we're telling. You know, heavy themes. That's not this movie.
No,
this movie doesn't have really much of a message at all, which that's not a bad thing. It's fun to have a movie every now and then you can just shut your brain off. But like,
yeah, I mean,
this movie it just exists.
Look, we talked a lot about what's like not working, but I mean, what does work to me, is it's fun banter. It's just the the most version of everything. The goons are like the biggest, creepiest goons. The bad guys, the most like
they have the biggest chins you'll ever see.
Jack Palance, is like I still not entirely sure what his. What he does exactly, but it's just the most like I am a villain and I'm excited about doing villainy.
There is so much like diction in his performance. Cash, tango, cash. The whole time, so much of his dialogue reading or his line reading is like that, like very kind of like I'm enunciating every syllable and vowel you can hear.
This movie also has this thing that is one of my favorite sort of weird tropes is the famous people are really famous. Like these cops we're led to believe that Tango and Cash are like kind of like celebrities and all those narcotics detectives that we're always talking about. It's a bizarre conceit, but here it is in the film.
Yeah, we'll talk about all the ways in which this flies in the face of reality as we go through it.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
But it is probably the best movie about Los Angeles, if you really want to know the city. So.
Sure. Sure. That's not the Big Lebowski.
No, you got to see Tango.
It's
and
not
Cash.
Sunset Boulevard. It's Tango
Nope,
and Cash.
Nope, Tango and Cash. That's the only one you need to see.
All right, well, let's do this because it's late where Josh is. So let's get into this movie.
I am not worried about the time. I can sleep in tomorrow. I'd rather talk for 4 hours about Tango and Cash than cut it short.
All right.
Okay, not 4 hours. I'm just kidding. That'd be crazy. But I'm good.
We will give this film its proper due. So we open on this. We're in the middle of the desert, and there's this huge tanker truck that's just barreling down the highway, followed by a helicopter. And we meet Ray Tango, that is Sylvester Stallone, who is in pursuit of this vehicle in a convertible.
And we're already subverting expectations because the wealthy cop is named Tango, and he's not named Cash. And I just think that just throws you. You don't know what to expect at this point.
Yeah, we'll find out. Like they make fun of him wearing like Armani suits. Like he's like independently wealthy, but chooses to be a cop.
Yeah,
And-
They talk about his stocks a lot in this movie.
Yeah, he's wealthy from his investments.
Yeah, he's always like on the phone to his banker and stuff.
Again, just like a little kid idea to me of like I'm saying, hang on a second, I'm talking to my banker making money. I'll be right back.
So he's tailing this truck, and he's getting stuff on the radio about like you're out of your jurisdiction, all this cop crap. And so he zooms ahead past the truck, parks the car perpendicular to the road, so he blocks off both lanes, gets out of the convertible, points his revolver at the truck, and starts firing at the windshield.
Now, I have two comments on this. One,
Was what about the Constitution or things like that? Okay.
There's two comments on here. One, he first empties all the rounds out of his pistol and then replaces them, right?
Right. What was in there before?
That leads me to two questions. A, he's a shitty cop because he didn't come prepared with the gun loaded and ready to fire. Like, most cops would just have the safety on if they didn't want the gun to fire, right? Or B, those were perfectly good bullets, and he's just like, this is going to be cool, and then dumps them all out and puts new bullets in.
I thought they were special bullets.
Is that
No,
what
I'm
it
not
is?
kidding. I thought it was like he was changing the ammunition.
Oh, that would make a little more sense. I like the idea more of him just like, this is going to be cool, and just dumping the bullets.
That's probably closer to what actually happened.
I don't need these blanks today.
The other thing about this is that this scene is inspired by Jackie Chan. If you ever see the movie Police Story, there is a scene in the opening part. There's an action set piece in the opening part of Jackie Chan's Police Story from '85. I want to say that movie came out, where there's a bus like hurtling down a hill, and he does the same thing. He parks the car perpendicular to it, aims his pistol. Oops, bumped my mic. Aims the pistol right at the bus, and then he doesn't fire at the windshield like Stallone does here. He like is aiming and then shoots up, and it scares the guy, and the dude slams on the brakes, and all the stuntmen fall out through the window and crash onto the ground. Very similar to this. So this is very much an homage to what Jackie Chan did just a couple years prior.
Yeah, as you said, that's what happened. After he fires a couple of shots, I guess he's a good enough. His aim is so good, he can fire into the windshield of a truck that's barreling towards him without actually hitting any of the people in the cabin. They slam on the brakes and apparently are unbelted. So they just go flying out through the windshield.
Bad guys don't wear seatbelts.
Yep, right in front of Stallone, who then arrests them there as the cavalry finally descends on the scene.
Yeah, and I remember this scene very well because then they come in, the other cops come in and like open it up, the tanker that they're driving, and it's like, oh, it's not, it's nothing. Like, you were wrong, Tango.
City boy.
There's no drugs in here. And so then, of course, the only way to reveal that there are in fact drugs is he shoots the tanker with his I'm now decided armor-piercing bullets, and it starts cocaine, I guess, starts spewing from the tanker.
Ray?
Hey, Captain.
What the hell's going on here?
Just letting the locals do their thing.
You blew out the window of this truck.
I know.
We got two guys lying on the road.
I noticed.
Federal highway, and we're out of our jurisdiction.
That's true.
So what the hell's going on?
I heard a rumor about this truck.
What about this truck?
It's not a truck.
Gas truck.
No. It's a major moving violation. Did you check the first panel?
It's full of gas, sir.
We checked the whole truck, asshole. There's nothing in it. And you're out of your neighborhood, big city boy. I want your badge, I want your weapon, I want your ass. Who in the fuck do you think you are?
He thinks he's Rambo.
Rambo is a pussy. What do you know? It's snowing. Anybody want to get high?
I'll be damned.
Not bad for a city guy.
And, I love it in the 80s. Just, for some reason, it was just such an 80s thing to refer to cocaine as snow. So it's like, look, it's snowing. Or something like that.
Yeah, I love this idea of we searched everywhere in the tanker. We can't find the drugs except inside the tank. Like what?
They're just churning butter on one side of it.
They weren't expecting a secret compartment just filled with loose cocaine. Okay.
Yeah. So as soon as he does this, we cut to Academy Award winner Jack Palance. I need to point out Academy Award winner,
But not at this point. He would not win one for a couple of years.
Not that long. It was for City Slickers, which was
that's 91. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
so he would win it 2 years later. But
Yeah.
I think it was widely understood at the time that when he got that Oscar, it really was for Tango and Cash.
Sure. Because he
was like they were writing it wrong. He was denied in '89.
Yeah, it's like Randy Newman or whatever. They had to give him.
Yeah. It's really for a body of work. It's not just for this one movie.
Sure.
Oh my god.
He's basically the same character that he is in Batman, but like in Batman, his character is killed 15 minutes into the movie, so he doesn't get to continue acting this way for the entire runtime. But he's belly aching about Tango and Cash. We haven't even met Cash yet, so it's kind of funny that he's but apparently I'll get you next time, Gadget. He's doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Ray, Tango. He's done it to us again. And if it isn't Tango, it's Cash. Tango and Cash, Cash and Tango. Tango and Cash, Cash and Tango. These two cops are driving me crazy. We have to do something about this.
I agree. I would like to handle this myself, Mr. Friend.
No.
We will handle it.
No. Not that way. I have something else in mind.
And it's such a funny idea that he's so obsessed with these two cops that you're like, oh, they're always ruining my plans, as if killing them or getting rid of them in the way we'll see what happens in the movie. There are thousands of people in the LAPD. There are thousands of people in the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, and as well as the FBI. If you took two detectives off the board, it's not like the entire law enforcement apparatus would stop.
No, these are the only competent detectives in the entire LAPD. I mean, that's what we're led to believe.
Apparently so. And his lieutenants, of course, want him to kill Tango and Cash, but no, crafty Jack Palance has something else in mind. And we'll see what that is in a minute, because now we get to meet Gabriel Cash, played by Kurt Russell, as he drives back home to his apartment. He has his own convertible. And after, kind of coming in and just sort of decompressing for a second, he is immediately attacked by a goon who then shoots Cash a couple of times in the chest. He's fortunately wearing a Kevlar, and he chases after the guy. And I'll stop there for a minute just to get your guys' take on this. But this was wild.
Sorry, one quick thing. I was trying to look up something while you were talking. I didn't get to bring it up when I intended to. When you do see Jack Palance driving by, when you do see Jack Palance lamenting about Tango and Cash, it is really bizarre that he just happens to be driving by the scene of his cocaine getting picked up. No boss would be that physically close to their to their product that could implement them or implicate them, in the crime.
Oh no, I mean that's just being a good boss. You want to be on the ground floor. You want to sometimes come in and say, like, I feel like Elon Musk would do that.
Well, you can't separate Elon Musk from his drugs, as we now know.
Yeah, he undercover bossed it.
No, I had the same thought you did, Josh, which is like I wouldn't want to be within 50 miles of this shipment.
Yeah, there's not a lot of thought put into like how Jack Palance's operation works.
None whatsoever. Yeah. Especially with the other two people in the car with him, which is James Hong, which shout out to James Hong, legendary actor James Hong. And then he also has there's someone next to him. I guess it's Mark Alimo, I guess is the act. Yeah, he's supposed to play. So that's what's interesting. What's supposed to be here, and I don't think it's really broadcasted well in the movie. I'm only realizing this now because I'm reading the Wikipedia. You have Jack Palance, who is the crime lord of Southern California, apparently. Then you have Quan, played by James Hong, who is the triad leader. But it's never indicated that he's part of. Do they ever say he's part of the triads?
Not that I noticed. I mean, but I think what they sort of get across is they're three separate crime lords, but they kind of take their cues from Jack Palance, and he's sort of like more domineering of the others. But they don't work directly for him. They're just like other heads of criminal syndicates that are. Then
the last one, Mark Alimo, plays a character named Lopez, who's a Mexican cartel boss. I had no idea he was supposed to be Hispanic, but that's besides the point.
So I mean, this is where we take a moment to give this movie credit for representation. I mean, that's,
there we go.
There you go. It matters.
All as bad guys though.
Yeah, exactly. All drug dealing bad guys.
Yep.
But yeah, so it that I just found that really amusing. Like they're all of them are driving, like all the leaders, the cartel leaders, whether it's the Mexican cartel or the triad or the gang or the mafia leader or whatever it is they're all riding together in the car right next to a cocaine shipment. Like it's bonkers. I love this movie so much.
That's how corrupt the police force is, that they can do that. It's brazen.
Do that.
It's so brazen.
I like that logic, train of logic.
Yeah.
But then bringing it up to what we were talking about currently,
this home invasion,
Kurt Russell getting shot. The only thing I really noticed about this scene was, if I'm trying to fast forward a little bit to it, his body armor, does it look like mermaid, like fish arm, like mermaid scales or some shit like that?
Mithril.
Yeah, it doesn't look like what you would expect to see, like Kevlar armor to be on, like a black vest or something like that. It's like silver with like a design on it.
Well, considering the meticulous level of research in other aspects of the movie, maybe they just like, I don't know. They don't know what Kevlar looks like. We'll just wing it. I do love 80s Kevlar though, because it's so effective. You're totally fine. Like it's basically impervious.
Yeah, you can take someone shooting you in the chest from about 5 feet away.
Yeah, and just be
don't
like,
break any
I'm
ribs.
Annoyed.
Yep.
Now I need a new shirt.
I like at the beginning of the scene, Cash is looking at the newspaper and it's like some splashy thing on page 1 of like hero cop does whatever, and it's Tango, and then he's on like page 2, but he's still pretty proud of himself.
Yeah, again, this newspaper, is it's just cop stuff, cop stories, hero cops on 2 pages of the newspaper.
Yep.
You know how that. The only time that ever happens is when you buy a joke newspaper and put yourself in it.
Yeah. This chase is crazy. So yeah, they go to the parking garage.
You missed a crucial part, Doug.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sorry
go
to
ahead.
interrupt.
Yeah.
His shoe gun. His boot
of course,
gun.
his friggin' James Bond boot gun.
That never comes back in the rest of the...
So he's got like I vaguely remember this. So he's got like a little like gun like attached to his boot.
No, it's in the sole of his boot. Like there's literally like if you were to lift his boot up, there would be
he's got a secret little compartment. Oh wow! Oh,
there would be a gun barrel shooting out the bottom of his shoe.
Somebody on this movie really wanted to make a James Bond movie, and they got stuck with this.
Oh my God, yeah, because the what's his face later on that built him.
They have their own Q, who gives them like a tricked out SUV or whatever, and like that. This doesn't even belong in this genre. It's so insane.
And he when we'll get to that scene way later, but he references this shoe thing he made for Cash. He does say something about it.
How'd that shoe thing work out for you? So,
Yeah.
He's like, actually, it was a very good character introduction. Thank you, actually. Thank you.
Yeah. So we get into this chase in the garage, and like the car's driving around. He's commandeering a vehicle. You know, you got to have a cop do that. You know, steal someone else's car.
I mean, this movie definitely. If you've got like your '80s cop bingo card, your trope bingo card, like this thing is like, yep.
Yep, we got the homeless lady with the cans. She's pushing.
Oh yeah, it's cans.
Inside the parking garage.
It's cans. Yeah, it's got to be cans. One of these days, I want to set that up in a movie where it's like, oh god, and like, oh, and then it's absolutely a baby.
And they always steal the car from some foreigner visiting America. It's always somebody visiting America.
Oh yeah.
Police business! Hey, this is my car! Move!
What's the matter, Ace? Got a little headache?
You crazy guy! What did you do with my car? I believe in perestroika!
Welcome to America.
So yeah, there's one cool shot here though, because like I think the vehicles are too tall for the parking garage or something. They're like driving through all these fluorescent light bulbs and they're like breaking as they go. That's actually a pretty cool shot. I was like, that's pretty rad. And then what Cash does, because he's the reckless freewheeling loose cannon of this crew,
as opposed to the guy who just shot at people driving a truck.
Right. Yeah.
This guy's a real loose cannon over here.
Yeah. So he crashes into the back of a car, which then goes into the path of the other guy. Then he crashes into that, and he is arrested, and he is also told, "Welcome to America." Because it's an Asian guy, if we haven't mentioned that.
Well, the guy he arrests is an Asian dude. The dude that he says "Welcome to America" to his shirt is like glasnost, and he takes his jacket off and he's beating his chest. I'm very confused by that choice.
Yeah, he's a Gorbachev fan.
Apparently.
So we go to Tango. He's kind of doing a victory lap around the office. And he gets to his office, and Catherine, that's Terry Hatcher, is there waiting for him. And she says she's going to go on a dance tour, and they kind of have this back and forth about, he doesn't want her to go.
Catherine, you just don't take off on the spur of the moment. It's...
What? Illogical?
Very.
Ray, it's not that big of a deal. I'm only going to be gone a month or two.
Well, a month or two is how long it takes to build a house, not take a vacation.
A dance tour is not a vacation. And besides, I just want to get away.
Away? You've got everything you need right here in this town.
Grime, crime, and slime. No, thanks. I'd really rather be out of here.
Okay, well, then at least let me have the phone numbers where I can reach you, okay?
Why don't I just call you?
Why don't you just call me? Look, Catherine, if you're feeling stressed, don't run away from him. Stay here and we can deal with this together.
Ray, please don't make me feel guilty. I mean, I just feel like I need some time alone, okay? And I promise, Lieutenant, that I will be a good girl.
There it is. The key word, good. See, you're telling me you're going to be this good girl because you know, don't you? Automatically, I think you're going to be bad. Yes.
Hey, Ray, what's a margin call?
Why?
Well, your stockbroker's on line 3 says it's urgent.
This is very important. Don't leave. Yeah. Hold on. Catherine.
Look, Ray, I'm sorry. I have a plane to catch.
Catherine, don't go.
Think positive.
Shit.
Oh yeah, that's a really weird part of this movie. His like strangely paternalistic, domineering relationship with his sister.
Which, by the way, they don't reveal that this is his sister yet. They leave you to wonder, like, is this his girlfriend? Who is this?
Right. Which is also a weird thing to do to the audience. I mean, I don't know. But yes, you're right.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I totally didn't notice that because since I've seen it before, I knew that she was his sister. So I just like, oh yeah, it's just him and his sister. Like it is, he has a very, like you said, Dan, like a paternal, like
his relationship with her is like
her.
actually fairly problematic.
Yeah, I didn't know. They don't say that she's his sister until way later. So I think they were trying to build up this mystery of the audience of just sort of like, oh, I guess then he and Kurt Russell are going to be competing for her affections or something. But yeah, no, they sidestep that by revealing eventually that this is Catherine Tango. They didn't say her last name.
Catherine Tango. What a name. I do think that it's like I love it. I love Palance in this movie so much.
Tango.
What I was gonna say though, I do think it's a little bit weird how they like she's talking about going on a dance tour, but then when like what type of dancing is she doing? Because like then it seems they kind of portray her as a stripper, which is fine, like, you know, if that's what she wants to do. But have you ever heard of like a stripper world tour?
Oh,
right?
Well, look, that's another, again, this was like a movie was described, like a child described this movie to an alien. Because like when we actually go to where she works, it's this like amphitheater. It's huge. And like, it's no strip club on earth looks like this. It's so yes, I have no idea what she does or how it all comes together.
Yeah. So Stallone, he gets a call from his stockbroker or something that he's got to take, and so she leaves, and we cut over to Cash, who's in the elevator, kind of telling the fish story about this incident at his apartment, and we get to see he's slovenly, right? Like as opposed to
like grabs a pizza slice. I remember pizza.
Yeah.
The shot that he does that too is so bizarre. Like it's shot like it's an action scene because the camera it's almost like they had a hand cam and they're rapidly moving in on him as he's lunging towards the camera, which is where the pizza box is right in front of. And it's very bizarre how it's shot just because it feels very like it's almost like what if Jason Bourne was grabbing a slice of pizza in a Bourne movie? They're like, let me get this. And
yeah, and it's one of his many skills. He's very good at snatching other people's pizza.
Yep. And he checks out his gun in his desk drawer, and he sees that someone has been messing with the sight on his gun.
He is pointing it around the office.
Yeah.
He is pointing a loaded gun in random directions when there are people all around him.
His coworkers.
Also, messing with the sights. Like I realize this is a plot point, but like,
is it? I couldn't figure out where this came back.
Well, remember they use his gun at the crime scene or something.
Okay.
He gets he's framed for later on, and so like that. So someone had taken his gun and then put it back, but in so doing had apparently quote unquote messed with the sights.
Somehow.
Yeah.
So he finds out that no one has been able to get any information out of the suspect that he caught because he only speaks Chinese, and we'll learn that is a lie. He understands English just fine.
There's definitely some xenophobia in this movie.
Yeah. Well,
what
it's
are you
the
talking
80s,
about?
right?
We're not racist here in America. What do you mean?
Yeah. Well, for those who didn't live through it, there was a whole lot of xenophobia in the 80s,
especially towards like Asians in the 80s and early 90s,
especially Japanese or Chinese. This idea of like they're coming for us in the auto industry, that was a big deal back then somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so Cash says, well, let me interrogate him a bit. So he says, so where is he? He's in the bathroom, not in a holding cell, just in the bathroom Not handcuffed.
The same one everyone uses, yeah.
He was going to the bathroom being watched by a guard. So in my mind, he was in the middle. He wasn't in a holding cell yet. Maybe he was still being processed, right? That was my initial thought. The only thing that weirded me out about him being in that bathroom was the fact that why are there lockers right next to the urinals?
In case you got to pee in a locker.
Like,
of course.
I understand that locker rooms, you will have like bathrooms and showers and stuff in a locker room, but generally you don't put people's lockers right next to a place where they can just take a leak. From my understanding,
my guess is the set decorator is just like, we need to know this is a police bathroom. I don't know. Let's put some lockers in there.
Yeah. So Cash interrogates him the hard way. He pins him to the ground and puts this chair such that the the crossbar of the chair is going across his windpipe, and under pain of torture forces him to reveal that there's some kind of deal going down on Front Street.
Hi. So, you don't know any English, huh? Well, I don't know much Chinese, so I guess we're gonna have to give you a crash course, buddy. But you wanna know something? I got a feeling you're gonna be a real quick learner. Yeah, come here. Sit down. There we go.
All right. This is lesson number 1. And believe me, the next lessons do get harder. Who hired you to kill me?
I don't know.
I don't know. No, wrong answer. Try again.
I think he's one of Kwong's men. I don't know his name, I swear.
Look at that, Flat Top. You're speaking like a native already.
What is this?
English 101. Now, since your scumbag lawyer won't be here for quite some time, is there anything else you want to share with me? Think hard.
A deal. Tonight. 942 Front Street. 9 o'clock.
Very good. My compliments. You did pretty good for your first lesson. Don't forget to wash your hands.
And this is why you always ask for your lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
This is exactly why.
It looks painful too. The way he's doing, like, obviously, like, if you putting a metal thing right on someone's neck is going to be painful. But it's not even just that he's putting it right on the dude's neck. He's lifting up the dude's jaw at the same time. So it's like he's pressing down and like pulling his head away from his body.
It's remarkably sadistic in retrospect. You know,
Yeah.
This is like one of your heroes is like kind of taking joy in causing this. I mean, essentially waterboarding somebody. I mean, you know, strangling somebody. Yes, the big punchline here is the guy starts speaking in English once he's been tortured properly.
This movie loves its police brutality. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, it doesn't ask any like hard questions about that.
Yeah, I'm going to be putting my law degree in the back pocket tonight. There's no point.
Yeah.
So Tango, meanwhile, gets a tip about whatever's going on Front Street from an entirely separate source. Again, at this point, Tango and Cash have not shared a single moment of screen time together. They've not interacted in any way, shape, or form.
The tension in the audience is palpable.
The closest thing they have is that they see each other's stories in the newspaper and they're like, oh, this guy. Like, they're just kind of like being like, I'm better than him. Like, that's pretty much all you get until they meet each other.
And this is where we get that stuff about, you're rich. Why did you take this job as a police detective? And he says, for the action.
Good old fashioned American action. That is like toxic masculinity if I've ever fucking seen it.
Yeah, only Batman gets to get away with this. So we got to this limo pulling up to this desert warehouse. This is our bad guy lair. And we see they're like just crime warehouse. There's just a million assault rifles and drugs, whatever crime could be happening. Yeah. This is the epicenter.
It's a crime-opolis.
Yes.
Crime-opolis.
And we go to Jack Palance's office, which is this big 80s, bad guy office. And he's got this 4x4 grid of TVs behind him. And he's on each of them, he's watching different footage of Tango or Cash foiling his crime.
Gabriel Cash.
Oh, God. How many millions? How many? How many this time?
Oh, God. Ray Tango. How he loves to dance. He waltzes in and takes all my drugs. And then tango's back out again.
Well, I've had enough of this.
Too much television can hurt your eyes.
You know, the guy has everything. He's got a thriving gun drug empire, you know, and the world in the palm of his hand, and he can't get over his obsession with Tango and Cash. See, there's a lesson there, kids.
Yeah, and this is where again he gives his like, you know, we get the big speech about like what are we going to do about Tango and Cash?
These cops, these meddlesome cops.
They're meddlesome, and so we should kill them. And
is the deal that they're? I kind of feel like, if I recall, the deal is that like they're also like the only like honest cops. Is it one of those things, or they're just the best?
I think they're just the best of the best.
Okay,
they're the best, and they're also honest. Well, big quotation marks.
The guy just beat information out of a suspect.
It's like you're just trusting that they have the best intentions of the public at heart, but
they're never. I mean, I think this is, you know, an amusing part of this film is that we never really, if I recall, see them do anything that's especially like brilliant or clever. What their superpower is a complete disregard for like civil rights. Is like that's basically their thing.
They care not about the laws of man nor the laws of physics. So
that's basically it. They just don't let any kind of restraint get in their way. But they're not like brilliant. If I recall, that's kind of how they streamline. At every point when they run into a problem, they just kind of blast through it.
Yeah, it's brute force.
You're so right. You're so right. Even in the final fight, which we'll get to, they talk about, oh, we're gonna think about doing this and that, and then there's just none of it. They just blast right.
And they're like, "Have you seen this movie that we're in?"
I like this part where Jack Palance is like, so he's giving the spiel is, you know, we can't kill them. That would trigger an all-out war with the police we can't afford.
Because
they're beloved. Because they're beloved.
Right. We need to put them behind bars, and he does this by means of one showing off these two mice that he loves, his pets.
He looks at those rats or mice like he's about to kiss them, like
or eat them. You can't tell.
It is uncomfortable watching him play with these mice because one, he just keeps them in a box, which his henchman delivers to him later on when he doesn't need them. There's like a midway point in the movie where he's doing his like maniacal laughter or whatever, and the henchman with the ponytail delivers this briefcase, and he opens it up and he sees his two rats again. He's like, oh, and he's just so happy to see them. But he looks at them with this like bizarre affection. I don't want to say it goes to a level of like a sexual affection, but it's more than just friendly too. It's weird.
I like the idea that Jack Palance is like a classic
sexually attracted to her.
yeah. That was his idea. He was like, "Can I have mice in this movie?" No, that he had like an actor's secret. He had a backstory. He had made a choice about that. And he's like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, this guy fucks mice."
Well, he certainly loves them because when he puts them into his desk, because like the desk slides apart, and
he's got the
desk,
maze, yeah,
built into the desk. He's got a rat maze for them to run around in.
Yeah, well, he's an eccentric genius.
Apparently.
Okay, that's how they work. I'm sorry, that's how we work.
So we now go to Tango and Cash are both separately arriving at this Front Street location, and they're kind of, without realizing it, they end up sneaking up on each other, nearly blowing each other's brains out.
Yeah.
Sorry, real quick, if for anyone's curious what I'm talking about with Jack Palance, 16 minutes and 14 seconds in the movie, if you look it up at home or something like that, you can see him lovingly look at his rats. That's the last I want to say on it. It's really uncomfortable.
Sound off in the comments. Let us know. Do you think this character,
on a scale from 1 to love,
has romantic feelings towards his rats?
Yep.
One or both.
Sorry, Doug.
You're fine.
Is he like Tango Rat or Cash Rat more? That is the question.
Thumbs up for Tango Rat. Heart emoji for. Yeah.
They actually would have been better if they were dressed up. If like one of them had like little glasses, and the other one had like a mullet.
And hashtag Tango Rat, hashtag Cash Rat.
Yeah, vote.
By the way, I would say that there's only two people to ever really rock a mullet successfully. One is Kurt Russell, and the other is Patrick Swayze, who we recently spent a month.
Yeah, by the way, I believe unless I'm mistaken, Patrick Swayze was attached to this movie at some point.
He was, I think so.
Yeah, so like they clearly were going. They're like, we need the best hair. I assume for the role of Cash.
Yeah, I assume, and then he ultimately, I think he dropped out. Either he had to or he did because he went to go make Roadhouse.
Right, which is what you've already recorded an episode on. So yes, but yes, two just luxurious heads of hair, and Kurt Russell's hair still amazing. It's
a beautiful
still
man.
A beautiful head of hair. He's got to be like in his 70s.
I mean,
mid to late 70s. At this point, it's still a fantastic head of hair.
Yeah, like he was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and he's got that same mop of hair.
Luxuriant.
Yeah.
I saw kind of a strange
74
Bone Tomahawk recently on a whim.
I need to watch that. I've heard about it, and I'm a little scared for that one violent scene.
I was saying the movie's like, I wish I'd been a little more prepared because the movie's like holding back a little bit on the violence, and then the worst violence I've ever seen in like a 30-second clip that is burned into my retinas in terms of like its violence, but. It's like a 2015 movie, 2016 movie, and his hair is fantastic.
So Tango and Cash, they now are working together, sneaking around this warehouse looking for whatever is supposed to happen here, and all they find is a guy with their back to him in a chair, who's already dead with a gunshot wound to his chest, and he's wearing a wire, and that's when the police burst in and arrest them, finding Cash's gun already at the scene. And thus ends the first act of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so, yes, this is, with everything they've done, being framed for this is too far. They've gone too far, and now they're going to go on trial.
Yep.
Lieutenants Ray Tango and Gabriel Cash, two of the department's most highly decorated officers, go on trial today for the slaying of a federal undercover agent during a drug sting operation.
Officers Tango and Cash insist that they are the victims of an elaborate setup, possibly a retaliation by criminal figures aimed at taking the two top cops out of action.
Expert witnesses are scheduled to lead off the prosecution's case.
Mr. Skinner, you've listened to the tapes, and if you had to make a judgment regarding its authenticity...
I'd say that there's no reason for me to believe that it isn't genuine.
And what type of procedure did you use to test this tape?
Took samples of the suspect's voices and compared them with the voices on the tape using an oscilloscope. The match was identical.
When this is over, remind me to rip Jumbo there's tongue out.
The witness may step down. With the tow truck.
When I entered the premises, I saw the two suspects, the guns, the money, the drugs, the dead body. That's what I saw.
When these two guys show up, I figure the whole thing has gone sour. So I'm gonna go in and clear everything up. When they kill him.
When this is over, we have to pay Jabba the Hutt here a visit.
I'll bring the chainsaw.
Nothing at this time, Your Honor.
I'll bring the beer.
Detective Cash assaulted me. He put a chair in my chest and sat on it.
I couldn't find a piano.
Cash Tango.
Oh, this son of a bitch can speak English. I'm telling you, the square crow can talk.
Square crow? What would you call it?
As the defense attorneys for Tango and Cash left the courtroom, their mood can only be described as grim. They clearly face an uphill battle, if not an impossible one.
What's even funnier, though, is like, if you really think about it, like the evidence even planted against them. Doug, as a lawyer, I don't know what type of law you practice. I don't know if it's criminal law.
It is not.
But okay, well then maybe you might have you would still have more of a frame of reference than I would. But I feel like the evidence they've planted at like they could just talk to both their police stations and be like, yeah, they were on assignment to this thing. Like both.
Yeah, alibis feel like maybe that's why they had to be convicted via a montage.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key here.
Yeah, it doesn't. This all seems pretty like, well, couldn't they just explain? We just got here. We did not commit this crime. But as we can see, the effort to frame them is fairly wide ranging because this, as you said, gets into this trial montage, like a series of scenes, and this is pretty comical. But basically, we get a guy coming up there, and he's this audio expert who's got a tape, supposedly from The Wire, that this corpse was wearing about them plotting.
Another foremost, famous person, expert on all things audio. This is where you get some other really great 80s cop movie tropes. It's right up there with we know this person's guilty, but he gets away on a technicality. That's always the thing that people like. This movie is sort of everything that they try to mount in terms of a defense gets struck down, and witnesses are going up and just obviously lying, and it's just all a miscarriage of justice. It's great.
And while they're doing all that, though, too, they all have these lines where it's like, after this is all over, remind me to find, what's his face, and then let me do this.
Oh, the level of stakes in their interactions is zero. They're like cracking wise with each other as they're about to go up the river for murder.
They're incredibly blasé and comical about it. One of the actors I recognize, I forget which trial witness he is, but he's the actor from Total Recall. He's the guy.
Yeah, and Arachnophobia.
Yeah, he's the guy who comes in to tells Arnold Schwarzenegger, "You're really just dreaming," and then Arnold shoots him in the head. That guy, he's one of them. And so the evidence is they've got Cash's gun with his fingerprint on it. They were both found at the scene of the crime, and no one was seen coming or going in. And the FBI has this doctored tape. That it's, as we'll find out later, the guy who authenticated it and said it was good is the guy who made it. Yeah.
I mean, my favorite part is when Kurt Russell is like, "Can I just say something? This sucks." And then everyone
sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it really. Everyone erupts in applause, which is even stranger to me. That everyone's on their side. It's
Everyone in this courtroom is on their side, setting aside the fact that all we've heard is evidence that they did in fact commit this crime. There's been no evidence in their favor.
Yeah, so I mean, we're led to believe that all the witnesses have been bought, but the judge hasn't, right? This is just like a shitty judge.
Yeah, and obviously, and it doesn't really matter what the judge thinks because they ultimately enter a plea deal.
Oh, that's right. They plea. They plea out.
Yeah, and I think they're thinking we're gonna plea deal like a fox because we'll go to prison and then figure out.
Yeah, some minimum security resort.
Right.
Do either of you know? So I'm while we're recording, I have the movie on in the background, and right now my playthrough of it is at the scene where they're coming across the dead body and getting framed for everything. Right, right before all the FBI busts in on them. The actor who plays the dead body, that looks like the dude who plays the rival coach in Mighty Ducks. I don't know if it's the same actor or not.
A little bit of a fan theory. Same guy, same character. These movies are connected. Hear me out.
That would be absolutely wild. I'll look it up real quick. I just wasn't sure if you guys knew off the top of your head. Also, shout out to Cash's gun. He's got that pistol. He's got a pistol with a giant laser sight that's bigger than the fucking pistol itself.
Yeah, that's a classic 80s thing too. Just the gun that has the scope and the laser and so many attachments to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is another thing I think, Dan, we can speak as children of the 80s that lasers were so fucking cool.
Lasers are absolutely the coolest thing you could. Side note, we're talking. Earlier we were like, "What are we up to? What are we doing?" I bought a crossbow. That's how bad things have gotten, and I'm considering getting a laser sight for it. So that would be cool.
Mm.
It's a repeating crossbow. So once you cock it, it drops another bolt into the chamber. It actually has an 18-round magazine. It's pretty rad.
That is rad.
If he is in it, he is not credited. But the actor who plays the coach in the Mighty Ducks, his name is Lane Smith. But he's not credited, at least on his IMDb. But anyway, sorry, continue.
So yes, they're going away for 18 months at what is supposed to be a minimum security prison, easy time to do. So we cut to Jack Palance and his two crime buddies are like, well, what are we going to do? They're going to get out again in 18 months and we're going to be right back where we were before. And he says, oh, use your imagination. What makes you think they'll ever get out? Cut to them going to, quote, Club Fed. This joke has been made 50 billion times about prison. And, I don't think there's a golf course here. But quickly we suss out they are not they have been sent to the wrong prison.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody has not really made a mistake. I think it's pretty clear someone has purposefully.
There are no coincidences in good storytelling.
No, he thinks somebody bribed the prison board to let them end up here, where they're in the prison scene from the end of Watchmen, where it's already a riot.
Oh yeah, they're walking in and it's like burning toilet papers coming down.
Just like raining, burning newspaper and like screaming, running around like. And they treat this like, yeah, this is what it's always like in prison. This is just what's happening.
Yeah. Once again, lending credence to your theory, Dan, that this is written in the guise of like, this is what a 14-year-old would think is cool. Like they go to prison and it's the baddest prison on the planet. Fire raining down from the skies.
It's basically an improvised movie. I mean, you know, somebody were like, we go to a prison and you start describing what you see and then everyone's one-upping each other. Yeah. And over here there's this. Yeah. And over here there's this. It's like, that's everything in this movie.
So, Josh, you're not aware, but, you know, I mean, Dan and I both did improv for many years. And the improv show that like I did the most was an improvised movie. And like, you rely on tropes like this. And as I was watching this movie, I'm like, we could have improvised this. Like, this is all tropes.
If we had improvised this kind of movie, it would have been less extreme. I mean, that's the thing. So yes, of course, if you're going to go to prison and you're looking to be funny, you're going to heighten. And yeah, this is exactly what you would describe. And then, you know, when they meet their fucking cellmates, they're you know, the weirdest possible, creepiest, strangest
When they're going into the shower, you get gratuitous butt shots of Sylvester Stallone and Kurt Russell. And they make a dropping the soap joke.
Yep. And then a bunch of dick jokes. They call him Pee-wee.
You can't leave that on the floor,
little jokes. Yeah, little dick jokes. That's right. Yeah.
Yep.
What do you think? I think with your IQ, you're unarmed and still very dangerous.
Okay, Sherlock Holmes, if you're so goddamn smart, you tell me who set us up.
I don't know yet.
Yeah, you don't know shit.
What are you doing?
Relax. Soap, and don't flatter yourself, Pee-wee.
I don't know you that well. Don't worry, Cash. Someday the other one will drop.
Attaboy, Tripod. You just keep talking.
Sure thing, Minnie Mouse.
Oh, by the way, I think they're going to stick us in general population.
Yeah? Well, you know they don't put cops in general population.
And he says something about like, oh, well, don't worry. They wouldn't put cops in with the general population.
Do they make a joke like, don't worry, one day the other ball will drop? Is that one of the jokes?
It's in there. There's a lot of dick jokes in this movie. I didn't track where they all show up or what dick jokes they are, but there's a lot of dick jokes.
You could even make that into a dick joke, not tracking where it shows up.
Yeah. So of course, cut to they're in Gen Pop, right, where they're not supposed to be.
Sure. Of course.
And
as
yeah,
you do.
this is where we're getting the rain of litter and fire. And Cash is like, oh, I put half these guys away. Again, it's like Rorschach, right?
I put the other half.
Yeah, they're really the only cops apparently getting anybody convicted in all of Los Angeles.
I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
Also, I just like all narcotics busts, I'm assuming, or, you know, or through their career or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Yeah. And so we meet this guy for the first time. We've sort of alluded to this guy, but there's this dude, this actor with this colossal jaw.
Yeah, he passed away. I just sent you something because he randomly showed up in my feed. It was his birthday just a few days ago. So, we're recording this, you know, June 6th or whatever. So I think his birthday is probably June 3rd or something like that, if you want to celebrate. Do you have his name by any chance?
I don't have it.
Robert Zadar?
That's
Robert Zadar? Yes. Thank you. That's good. Yes, I think it's correct. Something like that. But you've seen him. You definitely remember him from certain movies. He has a very iconically large jaw.
Right.
Hold the phone with him real quick. I went to his Wikipedia, right? And he was where, let me see here. After he graduated college, he was employed as the Chicago police officer. Member of the band Nova Express, a commercial jingle writer, and a Chippendales dancer.
A true Renaissance man.
This man did it all. With that jawline, are you kidding me?
Yep. So Tango makes like a Conan the Barbarian joke about him and like slams his head into the bars.
A jingle writer, though. That's my favorite out of all of those things that he did.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Bring the new bee! Bring the new bee! Stop! Stop! Bring him here! Come here! I want to talk to you.
Hey, punk. When I get out of
here. I'm gonna tear you a new ass.
You know Captain Dynaball here? Yes! Yes! I love John Conan the Barbarian.
If you need me and my ass will be in the neighborhood.
You fucking pig! It's over for you!
I think you're gonna be very popular here.
Funny, I don't see your fan club either.
Now, Cash enters his cell, and his cellmate is this big dude who just tells him that the toilet belongs to him. And Cash asks, well, what am I supposed to use? And he says, don't care. Like, that is a real problem.
That's short-sighted.
Yeah.
I think, as a policy.
If I was Cash and I really wanted to intimidate the guy, I'd be like, all right, then I would just start shitting all over the place. Like,
you left me no
what do you
option.
want me to do?
Right.
That's a deleted scene.
Like, if you don't want me to shit in the toilet, I'm just going to make your life hell because you told me I can't shit in the toilet.
Yeah, that was led on the cutting room floor. Him deciding to shit all over the place. This movie, I imagine, is a brisk runtime. Just a guess.
It's like an hour 45 or something. Yeah.
Oh wow!
Hour 43 according to this, and also from like the credits start rolling. There's like 6 minutes. There's like 5 minutes of credits. Like credits are rolling in at hour 38.
Yeah, it's brisk. Tango goes into his cell, and his cellmate is
Ron Howard's brother.
Clint Howard.
Yeah, Clint Howard.
Would you mind stopping that? Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm not afraid of you. You see that? I killed him.
Congratulations.
He was my best friend.
Crazy people aren't afraid of anybody.
Will you look at that? Sugar is up. I cannot believe this.
Clint Howard, who's almost exclusively played weirdos, not weirdos or geeks, you know. But like, yeah,
this guy is basically like a prototype for Steve Buscemi's character from Con Air. Like he's he's got serial killer vibes. You know, extra crazy. He loves his slinky. Like that's his thing. He's got a slinky. Which could you imagine giving an inmate a slinky? Like you could garrote people with that so easily. Like that is not a safe thing to leave an inmate with. Because it's a metal slinky. Like it's a real slinky, not like a plastic cheap one.
Which really is, I'm sure, was reverse engineered later on so that they could use it to, you know, tie him up.
Right.
It was. Stallone did tie him up with it later on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And I'm sure they were like, oh, we need a way to subdue this guy. Well, let's go back and give him a slinky, and then that'll be in the cell.
Well, that's what we get to next, right? It's nighttime, and Kurt Russell is on the bottom bunk with this big guy in the top bunk he's caved the bed in, so he's eating up all the space. It's funny.
Pretty funny. Like there's like definitely some cartoon logic in this.
Yeah, like he punches the guy and he just farts. It's like
farts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm laughing already.
Yeah. And then Tango, he's having an easier time sleeping. Not much, but as you said, he's tied up, Clint Howard, in the slinky. Like he's completely tangled up in it. The next morning, they are yanked the fuck out of bed to be murdered. And this leads to a fight. Like one guy just goes over a railing that's probably like 3 stories high, and is killed.
Slow motion.
Oh yeah. No, it's slightly slow. Not like full slow, but like mid slow.
Okay.
And they are shoved down the laundry chute where they get to meet the welcoming committee, which is Robert Zadar and Jack Palance, who comes in to gloat. But
who's in the prison?
He's
Who comes
there
to the prison? His big, stamp, his signature thing is that he wants to be where all the crime is happening. He wants to be physically present.
Oh, yeah, let me guess. The welcoming committee.
It's either that or a surprise party.
Don't make a move. We'll talk our way out of this.
I don't think I'm into small talk.
I'm telling you, if we panic, we're history.
The infamous Cash and Tango. Dishonored, imprisoned.
imprisoned. What a shameful fall from glory.
And who are you?
Just think of me as somebody who doesn't like you very much.
I think the surprise party's definitely out.
Oh, shit. That's the guy I'd follow to the setup.
Don't panic.
Taunty Tango. You're a pretty boy, aren't you?
I'm panicking.
How'd you like me to change it for you?
I wouldn't.
How about you? Maybe you first.
Don't panic.
I'll cut your bloody throat. Yank your thing out the hole and tighten a lovely Windsor knot for you, eh?
I don't want to ties, that's him.
Brave boy.
You want to cut my throat? Go ahead. Huh? You want to cut my fucking head off and use it for a fucking basketball? You can bowl the motherfucker for all I care. Just don't let him do it. I don't want to get killed by this limey immigrant jerk-off. I want to get killed by an American jerk-off.
You fucking wanker.
Put it away for now.
Oh, you know what? That really doesn't surprise me, because when we get to the final action scene, I have a comment on Palance's performance during the action set piece where they're fighting to get to him. That kind of like, it feels like he took the character choice of, or took the direction of like, you know, I'm going to be close to the action, and his performance in that scene really kind of feels like it resembles that, for lack of a better term. I'll get into it later on.
I mean, that's as stupid as keeping stolen classified documents in your bathroom. You know, I mean, like nobody would be that dumb to be that close
your closet,
to the crime. Yeah, exactly. You have to be a real moron to do something like that.
What I love about this is he remains in the shadows, right? So Tango and Cash can't see him; they can just hear him talking, and we'll kind of figure out as the movie goes along. Like, so this guy, right? He's been railing, Tango and Cash, my nemesis, right? Tango and Cash don't know who he is. He's never even heard of this guy.
That's really funny to me, actually.
Yeah.
Do you think most of Jack Palance's lines were delivered as if he was doing like a warm-up exercise? Tango, Cash, Cash and Tango.
Tango. Unique New York.
Yeah, his diction is like to be studied. Like, and that's in every movie he's in. Like, he talks like this. That's just the way he sounds.
Yeah, I only know him as like an old ass guy. Like, I never saw his earlier stuff. Yeah, what would he? I assume a lot of westerns. If I
yeah, tons of westerns. That's what he was known for.
I'll look it up while we're chit chatting.
Yeah,
and one-armed push-ups at the Oscars.
That's right.
Did he do that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, famously, yeah. He came out and just to show that he was still a badass, even though he was old. He did a whole bunch of one-armed push-ups. That was when he won the Oscar that year, right? That was the year he won. I think that's why he was there.
Yeah, it was gonna go to somebody else, but they were like, Jesus Christ, that guy's doing one-arm push-ups.
And so, so he comes into gloat, and he says, "Just think of me as someone who doesn't like you very much." And then his second in command, this guy with a ponytail, who we saw briefly at the scene of the arrest, we find out, hey, he's got a heavy fake Cockney accent. He does.
Yeah, that's great. That is the worst accent.
Would you believe me if you were to learn that Brian Howard James, who plays this character, was born in Redlands, California?
I would believe it. I would believe it. He's a replicant, right, in Blade Runner?
He's also a general in The Fifth Element. Like you recognize he's one of those faces.
He has my favorite. One of my favorite lines. Wake up. It's time to die in Blade Runner. But yes, his accent in this is amazing.
I thought he was supposed to be Australian at first.
And everything he says is like bollocks or whatever. Like, he can't not use a word that is like an Anglophile word.
This is like from the Dick Van Dyke school of Cockney accents. Yeah, it's real.
Mary.
It's a jolly old day with Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins. Yeah, no, I mean, he's really struggling to get it out of his mouth. It's amusing as hell.
Yeah, and I forget which one of them says it. He says, "I don't want to be killed by a limey jerk off." Like,
that sounds like a Cash
Kurt Russell
line.
says that. Yeah, Cash has that. He's like, "Fine, if you're going to kill me, but I want to be killed by an American, not a limey jerk off."
just a weird choice. Like that guy did not have to be British. It has no bearing on anything. It's just a thing.
You're gonna kill me, but I'm gonna hold on to my xenophobia. God damn it!
Right.
Yeah.
And I love that. Like, so Palance brings in Robert Zadar, and he's you broke my jaw. And they're like, you broke that guy's jaw, which they must have written that after he was cast, right?
I think so. I think that was discovered on set.
Yeah, but they both punch his jaw, which is reeling, and that's.
I did not realize. Side note that that actor, once again, Robert Zadar, who with that jawline, he had cherubism, which was caused his enlarged jawline, and so if you see, when you Google him, Robert Zadar, like. I can't tell, and I mean, I hate AI for many reasons, but I extra hate it because I can't tell if someone's just generating AI photos of him or if that's actually like his jaw ended up growing to be to that size later on in life. Because some of these look AI generated, but I can't tell.
I don't know how many people are plugging him into AI, but not a 0%.
Yeah,
there's a population, so I don't know.
Well, this leads to Tango and Cash versus all the criminals at once. And for a while, they're kind of holding their own, but they eventually get overwhelmed because there's just too many of them. And the limey guy grabs Mr. Ponytail, I'll call him. He has a name, but he's Mr. Ponytail. They're strung up over like tanks of water, and he gets a live wire, and the plan is to dunk them in the water
and electrocute them.
Electrocute them. Yeah, so they electrocute Cash, then they electrocute Tango, and then finally guards burst in and everyone scatters, and Jack Palance disappears into the mist.
It literally smoke comes out of nowhere, and he just kind of has this creepy grin on his face, and he just kind of goes slowly back into the fog.
But, that's the kind of violence that's in this movie. Strangely, it's not a lot of like hardcore violence. Like aside from yes, there's the scene with the choking, which is terrible, but like them getting just kind of like electrocuted is sort of just goofy. They're just like
it is one of the few scenes in the movie where I actually find their acting believable. I'm not talking about the pain part, but the concern they have in their face for the other one. Like when Cash is getting dipped down and you see Tango looking at him, like there's some real like earnestness in his Stallone looks like he genuinely cares for Russell in that scene and vice versa. You don't see that level of acting in most other parts of the movie, but I found it in that one. I thought that was pretty nice.
I mean, it's
beautiful.
Yeah, to say this is a beautiful bromance. That is.
It is.
It is a bit of a bromance.
Yep. They are saved by Max, the kindly warden. Going against tropes here for once to have the warden be nice and helpful, but he apparently knows Cash. They have a history. And he says, how did all these people get in here anyway? And they said, well, people bribed the guards. This whole place is corrupt. And so your only choice is to escape, and I'm going to help you.
You run the prison.
Yeah.
If you know they're corrupt, just get rid of them.
Fire them, yeah. So Max has these schematics of the ventilation shaft.
Oh, he's an assistant warden. Sorry, continue.
Assistant warden, okay.
Yeah.
Well, he gives him the map, and he says, I can get you the right work details that will allow you to sneak into these vents, and you can use that to get out. And there's now a debate between them where Cash wants to escape and Tango says he doesn't because he doesn't trust Max. Like there's something hinky about all this that he's not going to go with his plan. And
which I don't blame him for in that situation where it's like he's been betrayed by everyone at that point with the exception of Cash, right? Because Cash is in there with him. Like he's been double-crossed by the FBI. He's the lawyer. There's multiple witnesses who are part of it. Like, I don't necessarily blame him. And then he was just attacked. But at the same time, though, they were that close to killing them, and that dude just saved them. So, like, why would he save them only to kill them later? That'd be stupid. Like, he had them dead to rights at that point anyway. So, whatever.
Oh, whatever is the correct answer for a lot of this, I think. So it's night, it's raining, and Cash moves a dumpster. Tango's mopping. So they're doing their
yes, boss, to the guy. He's like, you're 30 minutes late. Sorry, boss, doing my best.
Yep. So this overseer guy leaves, and Cash finds a crowbar, which allows him to burst into this shaft. and he works his way along. Shaft. He finds.
I can dig it.
Unfortunately, he finds Max's dead body dumped into the shaft, and he is now being pursued by Robert Zadar, guards and dogs, and he turns around to go the other way, only to find that these big fans that he passed through are now on and are basically two giant blenders. So he's between a rock and a hard place. Thankfully, Tango decides to show up after all, and he blocks the fans long enough for Cash to slip through before letting them turn on again, and that gives him a chance to run.
This prison was built by the same people who built the ship in Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, why is this here?
They're just death traps and stuff, just nowhere, just for no reason. These giant fans that just chop people up.
Yeah, I don't know where they shot this, but it seems like large parts of this were not shot at a prison.
No, it looks more like it's like a dam or something,
a factory.
or some kind of like hydroelectric plant.
Mm-hmm.
I love 80s action movies, like in terms of where they decide to shoot all these different things, where it's always like this gritty city, like urban-esque type of thing, but it doesn't make any sense for where they're actually supposed to be at, type of thing. Like they look like they're in catacombs at one point. I know it's not, but it's just what a wild. It's just wild to me, the location selection.
Well, yeah, here's another thing a prison wouldn't have on its roof, right? So they get up to the roof and they're like making their way past stuff, including this series of like electrical gizmos that they have to like shimmy between to avoid being fried. What is this thing? Why is it on a roof? Why is it exposed?
Again, it's just like, it'd be cool.
Yeah. This is all there to set up a death later. So they're bickering, and they get to this spot where they can use this big power line as a zip line. They have to jump to a pretty good distance, grab it, throw their belt over it, and then slide down. And the other thing they're talking about is, isn't this thing going to electrocute the shit out of us? And there's this discussion of like how grounding is supposed to work, and that they're going to be fine. And they're both like, I don't know if it works, but what else we got?
Now what? Okay, no problem. We jump to those wires, slide down the other side, and we're home free.
That's your plan?
Yeah.
We're gonna fry.
You don't know anything about electricity, do you?
No.
As long as you're only touching one wire, and you're not touching the ground, you don't get electrocuted. Right?
I don't know.
I don't either. I know you're from back there.
Uh-huh.
So you can go first.
And you still owe me.
I knew you'd say that. If I don't make this, are you even gonna try it?
Depends how close you get.
I'm pretty sure their description was right for the most part, though I believe depending on the voltage of it, it wouldn't matter if you were grounded or not. It depends. But usually as long as you're not touching something that leads to the ground, electricity will pass through the access or the means of least resistance, which would be the electrical lines and not the human body. I don't know. I'm not a scientist though, but from what I remember from science class,
this is the movie that made me want to become a physicist.
So Cash goes, he jumps, he throws the belt, he does the thing, he zips down. But Tango is cornered by Robert Zadar, which leads to him using this like hook on a chain or a rope or something. He like hooks Tango's leg with it. He's got a signature weapon for this fight.
Yeah, another. This is another Bond thing. This guy is like a Bond henchman.
I really think so. Actually, sorry, two things. One, Zadar is credited as Face. That's his character's name, just Face. Or Face is in quotations. I don't know if he has anything else. The other thing is, I wonder if, like you were saying before, how Stallone really seems to when he gets involved with the projects, he always has a tendency to really modify, especially with a lot of the writing and stuff like that. The screenplay for this was written by Randy Feldman, but I don't know how much would have been changed, on the spot or whatever. I could totally see Stallone changing this into this is going to be my James Bond. right? Like, because if you look the way Stallone acts in this, it feels like he's trying to be like, this is an American James Bond. Like, he's very, dressed really nice, really like classically good looking type of thing.
He's the gentleman cop.
Yes. Not afraid to get a little bit psychotic versus Kurt Russell, who's like kind of more, like you said, Doug, slovenly and kind of like a little bit more haphazard and a little bit more like rugged, as opposed to like more like suave and debonair type of thing. And so I wonder if that was the way it was cast, and then Stallone comes on and determines, like, I could make this into my own Bond movie, and that's where you get the kind of the Q-like character. You have a henchman character, right? Like, I wonder if that is kind of, because I noticed the Q thing later that we'll get to in a moment, but I never even thought about the henchman angle that you brought up, Dan. Like, this dude, he behaves like a henchman in a Bond movie.
Yeah, he's physically distinctive, as Doug pointed out. He's got a weapon now. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this seems like the same writing instinct that led Stallone to put like that robot in Rocky IV. Like, this is a period where like anything goes. Like, if he just Sly wants it, it's gonna happen. So Tango.
Happy birthday, Polly.
Happy birthday, Polly. So Tango takes the guy out. He ends up getting him to fall backwards into the electro gizmos and is he's done. And he, though, goes down the zip line and finds Cash waiting for him at the bottom. They agree they're going to split up. And Cash is told, if you need anything, go find Catherine at Cleopatra's, and she can help you out. And they split. So we're back with Jack Palance. He takes a call from the other guys. They're concerned about the escape. They wanted to take immediate action and kill them. And he says, nope, we're not going to do anything. We're going to wait. Because their goose is cooked on the outside. Everyone's gonna be looking for them. We don't have to try that hard. And he says, this weird thing about like, don't insist. Insistent people make me angry. Weird line.
Again, just great, like weird, like bad guy stuff from him.
Mm-hmm.
Just idiosyncratic weird shit all the time.
Just chewing the scenery. I love it.
And then it's back to more mouse time, by the way, at the end of this.
Yeah, this is the scene I was talking about, where the Cockney but not Cockney henchman comes back and gives him a little box, and then he pulls out the two mice and he starts cuddling them into his forehead and like giving them little kisses and whatnot. It's
just another thing. You have to show that this guy's a weirdo in some capacity. Like, that's not a thing you give to Cash.
No. So now we're going to go to the LAPD ballistics lab, which of course is not only for doing ballistic science, trying to figure out, who shot who or whatever. This is the weapons development department for the LAPD.
Oh, gee. Hope they're all right.
Attention in the lab. Commencing live fire test.
Hey, Gabe, I knew you'd come here. How'd you get out?
Long story. Listen, you got something I can change into?
Sure.
Nice to see we have the same taste in clothes.
Hey, Gabe, do you need a special weapon?
I need a gun. Big gun.
Oh, are those big enough for you?
Yeah, perfect. I always knew we shared the same taste in weaponry.
Dave, check out the pooch. A new invention in senior citizen home protection. Well, the gum boots are great.
Perfect.
See you, buddy.
It's literally research and development. There's like a metal canister that blows up, and on it says Los Angeles Police Department Research and Development. It's R&D for LAPD.
Yeah, I was not a big defund the police guy, but seeing this, I have to raise some questions about this.
Yeah, the idea that like the LAPD is manufacturing its own custom weapons is This is bonkers. And Cash wants to go talk to Owen, who is Q, played by Michael J. Pollard, who has been in other stuff. He's a character actor who was around he's passed, but yeah,
he's that guy.
He's another that guy. You know this guy's face. You've seen him in other things, but he's not like Q is. Very posh. This is like. I don't know what this guy's deal is.
Michael J. Pollard kind of always played this type of guy. He's always like, I guess whatever. It wasn't a big deal. I just made this for you guys. That's his character.
Yeah, he kind of looks like Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but but like crossed with Elmer Fudd a little bit. Like
yes, all the sex appeal of Elmer Fudd, but with the tenacious rabbit hunting instincts of Flea.
Yes.
I thought I saw a Tango Cash. Oh, that's Tweety Bird.
Wrong speech impedimented Looney Tunes.
Yeah, wrong speech impediment. I don't know why I went for Tweety Bird. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Hey, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbit. So Cash goes in there, and somehow he could just walk into the LAPD, even though he's a convicted murderer that everyone knows.
Yeah.
It's like
I was so confused by that.
Yeah, he asked for a change in clothes. He says he needs a special weapon. So he gets like a handgun and a shotgun. And we're shown this super James Bond. We're shown a weapon that is never used in the movie, which is a stuffed German Shepherd or Doberman that just has an exploding head.
Well, I was just going to say it's in defiance of Chekhov's German Shepherd with an exploding head.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think it was meant to, I'm pretty sure it was meant to shoot like a gun because the head explodes and you see like the barrel is like blown out like a ribbon type of thing.
Oh yeah, this is a malfunction, I should say.
Yeah. So like it was meant to be a fake Doberman or German Shepherd or whatever that just has a pistol in its mouth and it surprises intruders by fucking shooting them.
It's got bees in its mouth, and when it barks, it shoots bees at you.
And then Chris Farley runs out and goes, bees!
I love that he's so proud of this. Like, it's like it's not convincing as a dog. Like it clearly looks like a stuffed animal. No one would be fooled into thinking that is in fact a dog.
Yeah.
Arguably, someone is going to be more intrigued by it and be like, what the fuck is that thing? And like walk up close to it, then its mouth would open and just blow the person away.
This guy is somebody's nephew, let's be honest. Like, he's not making good stuff down.
With the exception of what the car later,
yeah.
Which is bonkers. I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah. Because now we're going to get this series of scene where Tango is working on trying to clear his name. So first he shows up at the house of this witness who testified against him about the planted gun.
Yeah, so once again, their superpower is just, I'm going to go to where the thing is and just beat people up or shoot shit or whatever.
Yeah, there's no finesse here. He's goes after him, and the guy reveals that Ponytail paid him off to lie in court. And he says, it doesn't matter. They want me dead. Just take me in. I'll tell them what I know. And then he tries to run, but when he opens his car door, the whole car explodes. And I have questions.
I mean, my theory is that the dude even said like they want him dead. So my guess is Ponytail rigged it so that way it would look like it's a car bomb.
Yeah, just such unfortunate timing.
It's movie, it's plot convenience, I guess. But they when the explosion happens and you see Tango like get flown away from the door, he kind of looks like John McClane for a little bit there, just a little bit.
Yeah, the thing that I was wondering was the timing that got me. Like, so what? There's no way the bad guys knew that Tango was going to show up to this guy's house at that moment.
No,
so also they couldn't come up with a more or a less conspicuous way to kill this guy.
Yeah, like the neighbors would notice the giant fireball across the street. Yeah. But anyway, we no time for this because we're going to the next person to intimidate. So Cash goes over to the sound technician's house or office to intimidate him.
Who are you? What are you doing here? Who the hell do you think you are? Excuse me?
Who hired you to do the tape, Skinner? Lucky for me, this place is soundproof. That way, nobody gets to hear me beating the truth out of you. Hey, I see you got all my greatest hits. Yeah, and tangos. You just put together a nice little compilation, didn't you?
I had no choice. He told me he'd kill me.
Who?
He didn't tell me his name, I swear to God.
How fortunate they asked you to authenticate your own work, huh?
I am the foremost expert.
You won't be the foremost expert for long if you keep using junky equipment like this.
What do you mean? The state-of-the-art equipment. What do you want to know?
How were you contacted?
I was contacted by phone. I never saw the guy.
How'd you get him the tape?
I mailed it.
Where to?
I don't remember the address. But I recorded the conversation. Happy to play it for you.
There you go.
Watching the scene back, normally a car bomb goes off when someone starts the engine or sits down in the car seat.
Yeah.
This bomb goes off the moment he opens the door.
Which means it had to have been planted after the last time he parked the car, and now. Yeah.
So I'm just noticing it's just like that blows my mind.
Well,
Sorry,
continue. it's the only plot hole in an otherwise perfect script. So I let it go. So are they? Am I led to believe that they are simultaneously going to these witnesses and talking to them, but like with no coordination? They're just doing this on their own. Like they didn't say like, you take this guy, I'll take that guy.
No, last we saw they split at the prison. They just
so they had the same idea and have managed to divide this up. Like
perfectly
symmetrically.
Yep.
I think the more that you watch is because like in this scene here that we're at, Doug, where Cash is now interviewing the audio dude, or not interviewing but interrogating the audio dude. It's funny to me how like the movie presents Tango and Cash as supposedly two different types of cops. Tango being the sophisticated fancy boy LAPD east side of LA type of thing, and Cash is the west side, very rough and tumble, slovenly, all that stuff.
He's the downtown clown.
Exactly. But they handle their business the exact same goddamn way. With just
Indistinguishable.
chaos.
They are indistinguishable in their methodology. It's hilarious.
Yeah, they kind of start from a place. They kind of start from a place of we're doing the odd couple, but they're not that different from each other.
I just really they dress.
They both end up just being odd.
Yeah.
They dress differently and maybe like live in different levels of have different levels of cleanliness, and like I'm sure Tango has a nice apartment, or a house. I guess he's got a house, which makes sense.
I think we see it at one point.
Yeah, we do see his house. He actually has a house. Yeah. He's a homeowner.
Honestly, the only real difference between the two of them is that Tango invested with a banker and Cash didn't.
Yeah. Cash converted everything into gold.
Right. So he this guy under duress admits he was also on the take. Cash just shoots out all of his equipment. But this guy
got a lot of great stuff here.
Yeah. But he does not go kablooey the way the other guy did. So he
which
lives.
is weird.
Yeah.
Because what if the dude who why wouldn't they just eliminate all the witnesses at this point?
Right.
Maybe they only had one car bomb.
Tango and Cash had really, taken out their budget. They really still busted them on a lot of merchandise. So their budget as bad guys, as drug lords, was very limited. Only one car bomb per movie.
Right. So now we go to Cleopatra's, which, Dan, as you said, is the world's largest amphitheater / strip club.
Yeah, it's Yaz is playing.
Yeah, it's Don't Go by Yaz.
Is it Don't Go? Yeah. It is insane. There's a motorcycle on the stage. It is. Where is this place? Is this in Los Angeles? Can I go? I've never even heard of something like this.
The stage is large enough to accommodate Cirque du Soleil.
It is a Cirque du Soleil venue for strip clubs,
right?
Like for stripping.
And then for all of the size of this venue, like the things you could do, Terry Hatcher just gets up on stage and just kind of
Big
dances
fan.
around in front of a fan. Like there's no
Kind of a
like
giant
trapezes.
fan.
There's nothing. Yeah, it's just.
She plays drums too.
Oh, she does play drums. Yeah.
But not well. If I recall, she goes and just kind of goes like dung, 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 dung. I also play the drums. It's like, no, you don't. That'd be like her just going up and like grabbing a guitar and just going like, gee, gee, gee. I play guitar.
Yep.
It very much feels like when you first see a couple close-up shots of her playing it, it's not on beat at all to the music.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
And then the latter half, though, it is on beat. I'm like, well, that's clearly just ADR afterwards. Also, shout out to the ADR in this movie because it is nonsensical. It's wonderful. I love how inconsistent like volumes and like lip movements are to what is actually being said. It's great.
Yeah, she's not playing the drums. She's banging on the drums. There's a big difference.
Banging on a trash can, drumming on a street light. Sorry, it's a
okay.
Doug song.
So Cash makes eye contact with her, but he has to be careful because cops are now descending on the place. And unlike at the police's own ballistics lab, he needs to go incognito here to not be caught.
Yeah, and I guess they sent the entire LAPD because they figured one of them might show up there. That's the thinking here.
Right. There's no clue that Cash was going to go to this place. That
They're
anyone
just
would
like
know about.
send everybody, send a dragnet.
Well,
to
remember
Cleopatra.
it's Tango's sister though, so which we don't know yet. So that's the only reason I can think that they would descend upon the
But
place.
all
It's
of them, that's what I'm saying. You'd send one.
you would send
person.
you would send like a handful of people, and then
in plain clothes, by the way, not in uniform.
Yeah, you wouldn't shake the whole place down like that.
Right. So, but she distracts the cops with her lady parts,
her sexy dancing,
sexy
times.
And so he slips into the dressing room in the back and talks to her and says, "Oh, well, Tango said you could help me." And it's like, "Well, we got to get you out of here. How are we going to get out?" And so at first you think it's like, "Oh, he's going to dress up in the Elvis gear that one person has on." But no.
Hey, Red. Aerobics instructor, huh?
Hey, Bud, get your hands off my property.
Any chance of a three-way?
Bags on bikes, eh, Captain?
This scene also right before that was the second time in the movie you see boobies, so I turned away like a good Christian boy when I first saw this.
Yes, there's a misdirect. You know, it's like, oh yeah, first of all, which is perhaps a reference to the fact that Kurt Russell played Elvis in one of his first movies with John Carpenter.
Oh, did he? I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a TV movie. Yeah, he played Elvis. But yes, he escapes by dressing up as a pretty lady.
A lady.
And he gets hit on by a cop, and it's like the cartoon logic again that it doesn't just. It's like, oh look, there's Tango, or there's a Cash, there's Gabe Cash dressed like a woman. That's what it is. That's what everybody would see. Nope, pretty lady, pretty lady.
Yeah, this is the same level of like person going in disguise as a lady as like Bugs Bunny doing it. Like
It's got that level of logic to it.
Yeah.
So he goes out and gets on Terry Hatcher's motorcycle. I think it's implied that even just for more fun that they're a lesbian couple. And
oh no, not implied. Someone says something about dykes on bikes.
Okay, great. Yes,
Yep.
awesome.
Ages well.
Check that box there. Okay, it's definitely the 80s.
Homophobia. There we go.
Mm-hmm. And then they're off
to Catherine's place where his clothes are off already, and she's massaging him, and they're discussing. You know, she believes he's innocent. She knows what's up. And
this is an innocent back rub.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, it is, but like obviously the dialogue makes it sound like. Well, actually, no. You know early on that she's just massaging his back, and because he's got a slip disc or whatever. But then later on, there's a moment where like the way she's saying it makes it sound like they're having sex. And
for the comedy,
actually,
yeah,
it's pretty funny actually.
Because Tango's going to see her, and then he overhears this, and it's like that's for the comedy of it.
Yeah. Exactly right, because Tango shows up and assumes that they are.
And again, a normal person wouldn't just burst in. When his sister is having sex, you don't stop it.
How
dare you?
About
his adult sister.
But the thing that's even more strange about this scene is that it's inconsistent with the character that they've shown Tango to be so far. We know, as far as we know, Tango's relationship with his sister is a very paternal, domineering, borderline problematic one, right? Like, he's very controlling of her life. So if he were to see his sister, from what his perspective is, his sister is having sex with Cash, right? He's not the biggest fan of Cash, and he's controlling of his sister. The way they've portrayed, Tango in this movie is that he would rush in and beat the fuck out of Cash, but he doesn't do that. He just kind of watches it and goes, "Oh, I can't believe this is happening," until he sees someone out the back door and then charges.
That's why he goes in. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why he goes in.
Oh, well, it is a little better that he doesn't just rush in and be like, "Stop."
Oh no, I'm glad he didn't do that, but like, it would have made more sense for the character they've created.
Yeah, well, yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, the person lurking in the back, by the way, is this captain we've seen before. I just call him Captain Mustache in my notes.
Right, he's on their side. Yes.
Yes. This is where we finally find out that Catherine is Tango's sister. Not that's their relationship.
Just a misdirect that didn't have any reason for existing.
Yep. And now we get kind of some bickering with them. Oh, it's my house, my rules. And it's like, well, it's my house. I live here. He's like, well, you pay me rent. I own it. And like this weird back
God, he's
and
such a
forth.
shitbag. These guys, they're such a dick.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the lease agreement. You can only have sex with men that I approve.
Yeah. Again, yeah. Terry Hatcher is an adult.
Yes, it's bizarre. It's so bizarre.
She is 25 in this movie.
Right.
It's like, hey, Tango, get a fucking hobby, man. Like, running your sister's life is not a good look.
Which is even weirder, though, because they make it seem like he runs her life, and then later on in the movie, they have a heart-to-heart. He's like, "I'm sorry, I care so much about my career. I feel like I never spend time with you." I'm like,
I don't think that's her complaint.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't see enough of each other.
The captain says this weird thing. It's like, I can help you, but only for 24 hours. You have this ticking clock. You have 24 hours to clear your name. It's as long as I can kind of hold the department back.
Well, yeah, that's an arbitrary number.
Yep. And so Cash says, he shows he's
at the stroke of midnight, I can't help you anymore.
Yeah, but he's got the tape from Skinner, right? The audio guy. So in theory, that should be enough to see they lied at our trial. That would be helpful.
Man, AI really makes this movie impossible, doesn't it? Now.
Yep. And so the captain IDs, they're showing who's this guy? They have this picture of Ponytail. His name is Rakim. Rakim, the very tall, redheaded, freckled Cockney man.
Cockney man. Rakim the Cockney man.
This character is just got depth. He's got layers on layers on layers.
Yeah. So Tango apologizes to Cash. I'm sorry, apologizes to Catherine. And there's a discussion, should they turn yourself in? And he says no, and he offers to buy her a bond to help set her up. And then Cash says, hey, maybe we can go out after this all blows over. And it's the next day, and Cash enters a building. He uses this bullet lockpick that he's got.
I wrote that down in my notes. I'm like, what the hell is that? He's got a lockpick in a bullet?
Oh, it's in a bullet? Oh, he opens
literally
up a
just
bullet.
takes out a bullet and then pushes the pin forward, and a little thing pops out.
It's another little James Bond trick.
Yep.
That doesn't make any sense, but
no.
But that's the American James Bond, right? A James Bond would have a lockpick in a credit card. An American would have a lockpick in a bullet.
In a bullet.
Second Amendment.
Right. Just don't accidentally load it into your gun.
Yeah.
That's going to be unfortunate.
That's not a problem. They empty it out unnecessarily anyway.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Rakim, Mr. Ponytail, gets the drop on him. Or I should say, he gets a drop on him, he does.
He does? Blimey! It's Tango and Cash, it is.
But then Tango gets the drop on him, and we go to a little party on the roof. And they say, let's invite Potato Head, was what they call him for some reason. He's not Irish. Yeah. They've established that. The Potato Head joke makes no sense.
Do you know how they spell Rakin? Like, according to Wikipedia? Requin. Okay. I would not have expected that.
That's not a name or a word. Anyway, so they're now dangling him off the roof. And so they ask about, well, if this doesn't work, what's plan B? And we see him tied up with a grenade in his mouth. And Cash is acting like a real loose cannon. And he talks up Tango as being even crazier than him. And so they're doing this good cop, bad cop routine.
Plan A.
The party's really fun.
Thanks. How about it, Red Key? Hell of a view, huh? Come on, you meat puppet. Who pulls your strings?
Piss off. Bollocks to plan A. I like this. The view's great up here.
What do you say?
Plan A's a loser.
Hold on. Give me a name, death brother. You're going back to fucking England in a fucking baggie.
Up yours, arso. You ain't worth a toss. Go on, drop me. Do it.
Plan A is definitely a loser.
Big time. Let's go to plan B.
You got a plan B?
Hiroshima, ring a bell?
This is plan B. Can I talk to you for a minute?
Not now. I'm busy.
Just a second, please. Seriously. I mean, you're getting a little radical here, aren't you?
What's radical?
Blowing a man's head off with a fucking hand grenade is a touch much, don't you think?
You got your way, I got mine. You know, I'm kind of glad you didn't want to talk, Rakim. You know that?
Let me just shoot him in the goddamn leg. He'll talk.
I don't want the leg. I want the whole package.
Maybe he doesn't know anything, okay?
I don't really care.
What do you mean you don't care? What the fuck is this? You're a cop!
Look, I was a cop. But because of this dirtbag and his friends, we're on the run. No, it's payback.
That's enough. I mean it.
Is it?
Oh, man, I heard about you.
Did you?
I heard you were a fucking Section 8. I didn't believe all that weird sadistic bullshit I heard you pull, but you are, man. You're for real!
If you don't want to get sticky, get back. Jack. Dun, 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 dun.
You got it, sicko.
And he finally gives up the name of Perrette. That's Jack Palance's character, whose name we've now finally heard for the first time 2/3 of the way through the movie. And we see that he's peed himself because he's so scared of because there's a grenade in his mouth. And they say they're doing it's the old classic bad cop, worse cop routine. And they just to be a dick about it, they pull the pin on the grenade, shove it in his pants. It goes down to his feet. It's just a dud.
That's going to be a callback. That's foreshadowing.
Yes.
Right there. Now, I'm always a fan of when comedies do the good cop, bad cop thing. Like I think of, like The Other Guys where like Will Ferrell just goes like insanely over the top. Also love Dropout TV when they have their show Make Some Noise, whatever. They have the show Make Some Noise, and some of the prompts on there are like good cop, fad cop, or like good cop, dad cop, and like seeing what comes up with that. So every time I see like a good cop, bad cop routine, I can't take it seriously anymore because all I think is like good cop, fad cop, and like maybe one guy's got like a slinky on it, or like a bop it or something like that.
There's that Lost Moon Radio sketch that you were.
Good cop. Well, the first they go in and the cop is like looking out the window and he's like, I don't know, just like sometimes things just don't make sense. And he's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I thought you said sad cop. He keeps getting it wrong in all these different ways. And then it was like, oh yeah, I remember the joke. Now I'm gonna get all the progressions of this. So the first he's sad cop, then he goes in as he's like, no, you're the bad cop, and then he goes back in and he just starts like getting basic facts about the case wrong or something. He's like, he takes him outside. He's like, no, not bad at being a cop, And then the final thing is like, you know what? Just be good cop. I'll handle it. And then he's like, all right, got it. And he goes in and he immediately goes to the suspect. You shouldn't say anything right now. You should wait until your lawyer gets here. Now my friend's going to intimidate you.
That's great.
LostMoonRadio.com. So after this, now Owen is going to show them the RV from hell. They don't give this car a name. That's what they call it.
Okay, Owen, let's have it.
Double armored, bulletproof glazing all around. 120 millimeter cannon on the driver's side. Transfer case has torque splitting. It'll seat 60 in 5.5 seconds and pull high 10s in the quarter.
What is that?
That is an RV from hell. Care to join me? Huh? What do you think?
I'm impressed.
Are you very impressed?
I am very impressed.
I mean, has this guy got some gray matter or what?
Looks that way.
God, home run.
This thing will go through a brick wall.
We are in business.
Oh, yeah, we're in business.
We are in business. You know what kind of firepower we're talking about here? This is a violent work of art.
Who holds the pink slip, Satan?
Why don't you take a look inside?
Isn't this the same guy that invented your exploding bazooka boots?
Hey, Owen has milliseconds of genius, believe me.
What's this one do?
Ultra booster. It's nitrous oxide.
Uh-huh. And what's that mean?
What's the difference? We'll take it.
So it looks like it's kind of like an RV. It actually looks a little bit more modern than what you would expect a car from the 80s to look like. Because of the way they decked it out, it actually looks a little bit more like newer than something that would have come out in 1989. But what's wild about it is like they take off the front, like the windshield of it, and now it's like a curved roof that goes right down to the front of the car. So you don't have a hood. The whole thing is like a windshield. It's got a Gatling gun mounted on the left side of it, with like wires and like hydraulics so you can adjust it and shit.
Yeah, it's ugly as shit. I mean, definitely look this up if you're listening.
It's
looks
wild.
It looks like a car from RoboCop like 2 specifically, and as a joke. Like a vehicle that was supposed to not work or something. It's so clunky looking.
And I love Kurt Russell's line here where he goes, "Do you know what kind of firepower we're talking about here? This is a violent work of art."
Yeah, it is ugly though. Like it ain't the Millennium Falcon. It ain't like it doesn't have like sleek lines.
Yeah, they just like glued guns to like a van.
It looks. Yeah, I was gonna say like if you told me they designed this with Legos first before they built the real thing, I'd believe it. Like it has that.
That said,
look.
if I were driving this around as like a prop car around Los Angeles, it would get some love. Somebody would know what this was.
I kind of love how the front of it is designed, like how the hood looks and the front grade of it. But then the back of it, they just stopped caring. It's almost like you're like, we're going to make the front of this look fucking dope, and the back half, I don't care anymore.
I realize that this car looks like it was designed by Homer Simpson. I realize. That's what it's reminding me of.
Yeah.
The Homer.
It definitely has that look. So they decide they're going to take this car. And it's not clear that they have permission to do this, but Owen doesn't put up much of a fight.
Yeah, and he's just like, I just make sure you take care of it, you know, like, yeah.
This poor dude.
This poor bastard.
Yeah. He's like a human puppy. Like
we're fully insured. Yeah. That's a line Kurt Russell says to him. We're fully insured. He goes, "Oh, you're fully insured. Okay,
we're friends, right? You guys are my friends. Yeah. We're your friends, Owen. Yeah. How come we never hang out?"
So we get to this scene, right? They're at this overlook in the car. They get out. They're scoping out the warehouse we've seen before. This is nighttime, and so Owen is on the radio telling them like, there's a lot of construction. Look for a building out there. Like
not even just on the radio though. They have a full video screen where he's broadcasting himself to them.
But
I like when he's turning into an arm impression. There's a lot of construction.
No.
Oh, jeez.
This has to be a character at some point.
Yeah, he's a Jerky Boys character.
That's it. So here's the thing that I was trying to figure out the disconnect here, which is they have not had any clues that have told them this is the location where the bad guys hang out.
Oh, we just do a shortcut. We just leap to them going there. Like
there's no reason. Like, you know, it's not like the guy with the ponytail was like, "All right, I'll tell you, our base is over here."
Easy enough too, by the way. Like, what did he give them? What did Rakeem give them, or whatever?
He gave up the name of Perrette. Maybe that was
it. So somehow there's clearly like cutting room floor stuff here, where the name leads them.
They look
to...
him up in the computer, and this is his address.
Well,
Something.
they tell, is it Owen who's the nerdy guy who's helping him? They tell him to look it up, and so right before they drive off, though, like literally the moment before they drive off, which is why he's telling him like there should be some fucking destruction up ahead or whatever. I can't do voices, but so it's like they get the instructions on the fly. Also, fun fact, I was trying to Google to see if Raquin is an actual name, like spelled like Requin. There's a movie that came out in 2022 called The Raquin, or the Requin maybe, with Alicia Silverstone. Sorry, super random, but I found that amusing. It's basically a Jaws ripoff. It's a shark horror movie.
So in 2022, Alicia Silverstone was in a Jaws ripoff. Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
She was also in the reboot of The Babysitters Club. I know this because my daughter watches that.
Huh. Okay, I assume they've got this guy's name, and he's probably just got a registered address or whatever. And they're like, oh, he's just there. Let's go get him.
Yeah, and so they survey the scene, and they agree that this is insane. That they should not just, I don't know, assault this location. But now we get them talking about, hey, if I don't make it out and you do. This kind of conversation.
Promise me you won't date my sister, right?
Right, yeah.
That's his dying wish, right?
Yep.
Well, no. The first one is Stallone saying, like, you're the best cop I ever worked with, or whatever. And you're the best cop I ever worked with. And then...
based on zero evidence.
Based off zero, yeah. And then, technically, the evidence that he's exactly like him.
yeah, exactly.
So no wonder he's the best cop
fair.
that he's ever... Well, and then Cash goes, and you know what, man? If you don't make it out of here, I'm going to date your sister. I want you to know that. And then they have a whole back and forth, little joking back and forth. And he's like, all right, I won't do anything until you approve it. And he's like, well, that's never going to happen. And then that's kind of like the last little bit of joke before they decide to go in and just go fucking crazy.
And boy, do they, because the Owen's on the thing, remember, use extreme caution, and then Nelk just blasts through the door.
I'm bare-ass naked except for my shoes and glasses.
It really is just
don't forget the Gatling gun ammunition.
And then wait, hang on, Tango, I'm getting another call. I am the Egyptian magician. Oh, wait a minute, we're getting pranked.
Oh my God! So
is that you, Tango? Does Cash like me, Tango? Can you talk to him for me?
You guys never come over for bridge club.
So this is just bang bang.
I got a lot of spaghetti.
This is just bang bang shoot 'em up action. They're just driving, they're shooting everything, they're jumping over. It's like, it's amazing here. When we cut back, it's a huge open field. That struck me as funny.
How are you supposed to find your way around?
Yeah, it's not maze-like in any way.
I think the most astounding thing about this scene, so I referenced it earlier, there's a couple, this scene here, there's a couple things that stick out to me. One, in a movie that's already over the top and nonsensical, this scene jumps the shark even on that metric, because not only are they driving in with this ludicrous, armored SUV, right? All the trucks that are chasing them have front-mounted twin machine guns, right on top of the hood, right? It almost looks just like elevated pickup trucks. And on the back, they have missile launchers, missile pods that shoot missiles out of the top of it. Also, they are then chased by monster trucks and giant bulldozer machine
All
things.
of these are just there in case cops show up in the RV from hell. That's the only reason that those things are all there. They would make no sense otherwise.
And this man is worried about a war with the cops. He could take them all out with this.
Those vehicles, I'd be curious what else they were used in, because there's no way those things just are either not repurposed from some other movie or were not used subsequently in something else.
Well, and there's some crazy shit that happens to the scene. So they're trying to run away from all the guys with the missiles. The missiles are fired at them, but in their parabolic arc, they just come down and it's all friendly fire. Like takes out all the bad guys or a good chunk of them.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I probably never had a chance to use any of this stuff until now.
Yeah. And we get all these cutaways to like Jack Palance in his office, like watching all this. Go ahead, Josh. I can see you chomping at the bit.
This is like one of the weirdest things.
Just mashing his mics together while watching.
Are you watching Cash Jr. and Tango Jr.? No, sorry, Cash Jr., Tango Jr.
Tango and Cash would be a rad name for pets, though. If you have two pets,
yes,
and
they
you
would
want,
be.
And you want like that's a pretty fucking cool name for your cat.
But what's funny about this scene to me, you know, we keep talking about how Jack Palance keeps wanting to insert himself into the action, you know, like whether he's in the prison, whether he's driving by a drug bust or whatever. In this, he's in his like warehouse and he's watching all the action unfold from his security cameras. Just going, yes, get them, yeah, like he's very excited about this.
Yeah,
like
despite the fact that they're losing.
Yeah. It is like the fact that they keep cutting back to him, like reacting to what's happening on the screen. I'm like, with no like regard of worry, just excitement. He's so happy this is happening. It's such a bizarre choice.
I would say that level of disconnect from reality and megalomania was not possible in a person, but you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah. Some more crazy shit from this scene, by the way. When we get the joke about where'd you learn to drive? Stevie Wonder, like, oof, old joke.
No, he said, where'd you learn to drive? And Kurt Russell goes, Stevie Wonder. Like, he makes the joke on himself.
Oh, he makes it for him.
Yeah.
Which is like, by the way, a joke that was used in Die Hard. Stevie Wonder, you know, one of the greatest musicians of all time, you know, was just the butt of jokes in 80s movies for a while, I guess, about bad drivers.
And it's always Stevie Wonder. It's never like Ray Charles. Like, here's another blind musician.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. Andrea Bocelli, you know.
Well, Andrea Bocelli has too many syllables, you know.
Say, yeah.
I think that's actually if I just pick other famous blind people.
So at one point during this, I forget if it's Tango or Cash, but one of them says, like, bad news, we're almost out of gas. How? They've barely been driving this thing for, you know, I mean, unless they had to drive 5 hours to get to this warehouse.
Who taught this guy to drive? You know, Louis Braille or I'm reaching. I don't think the guy invented Braille was named that, nor do I think he was blind.
Well,
go ahead.
But the thing is, though, is that you're right, Doug. They say like, oh, bad news, we're almost out of gas, and then says we have good news and bad news, and it says bad news, we're almost out of gas, and then Tango goes, and the good news. And Cash goes, we're almost out of gas. I'm like, what? I don't understand. Like, is that meant to be a joke, or like, because if that's meant to be a joke, it doesn't. Like,
also, are we led to believe that this supercar just burns through gas that much that like this drive emptied a tank, or they just didn't fill up?
I don't know. I mean, they end up not running out of gas. They end up getting sandwiched by two of those giant like construction vehicles.
So that's an easy cut. You could just cut that line of dialogue completely, and the movie would not.
There's no reason to talk about it at all. Yeah. But so they get on, they clamber out of the vehicle onto the two construction vehicles on either side, take out the guys driving them, and they steer them away. So they fall over, and of course, as all construction vehicles are, they're filled with C4. So they completely blow up in two huge fireballs, and Palance is disappointed. They stop the vehicles, and we get this one last like bit of Owen like in the car, like in the monitors, like, you know, is everything?
Guys, where are you guys?
It's Saul Rosenberg. Jesus. Anyway, so we go to the warehouse interior, and Tango.
Now, if I recall, Perrette has like a room that's specifically for facing off.
Oh, we'll get that.
With cops that come and try to take him.
Yeah. So, but first, it's like we see like a cut of the inside of the warehouse, and there's no one in it. We just see all the guns and drugs and stuff. And then you're waiting for Tango and Cash to come
his
in.
office that he has at the scene of the crime.
Right.
Again, just great. So great.
So Tango and Cash just drive through the walls of this warehouse. Again, just crash through everything.
Yeah. It's the Kool-Aid guy's school of police work.
Yep. And then we get Perret going, let them come. We're ready. Of course, just like I planned.
This guy who's failed at almost everything in this movie is like, yes.
Sorry, I still can't get over the Kool-Aid Man police school where it's like, I'm going to get away with this crime. Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He like phrases it as a question. Oh, yeah. Then he like throws like Kool-Aid at him.
Detective Aid, you're out of control. You're off the force.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I want a divorce, cool. Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. That's the final line.
And
you've got type 2 diabetes.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
We're getting punchy.
Yeah, this is a long one.
It is a long one.
It was longer in the film. We've actually gone longer than the movie.
Absolutely.
So
things were getting cliched and weird enough. Jack Palance activates the system destruct for the base because he has one. You have to have one of those.
Yeah. I mean, sure.
And he sets it for exactly 11 minutes. Why 11 minutes? I don't know. But we find out that he has Catherine.
The average lifespan of a mouse is 11 years.
So he has Catherine captured. We find that out. And so the Tango and Cash grab assault rifles and head up to the office. And like the other two crime lords, Fong and the other one, are going to try and stop them, but not very long because the Fong just gets ventilated immediately, shot up a billion times. Then we get bullets into the next head guy. But he gets off one last shot, which hits Cash in the arm.
Which got to do that.
It happens because Cash saves Tango right there.
Yeah,
he takes one
Jack,
for
by
him.
the way, a shot in the arm, it's nothing, right? So I'm sure there's like a line about it not being a big deal.
I've been shot before, is what he says.
Yeah.
I've been shot before.
And of course, everyone knows you can take a bullet to your bicep and nothing bad will happen. It's
fine.
Yeah. No arteries in there or anything.
Yeah, you want to put a little peroxide on it later when you get home.
Yeah, sure. So they get into the office and all the TVs come on. This 4x4 grid of TVs, and we see a Ponytail there with Catherine, and he says, drop it.
Real quick, they also go up to the desk, and there's a little note that Tango picks up and looks at it, and they took the time to draw a little explosion and a cartoonish boom. Like they wrote boom in like almost like a cartoon font and a little cartoon explosion just for them on the desk. They took the time out of the 5 minutes in between. Oh shit, we're getting attacked. Let me draw this explosion.
And he's like, I didn't get the mushroom cloud right. Hang on, if you look in the trash can, there's like a bunch of them.
Yep. So this is where we get to what about Plan B with Ponytail here, and they drop their guns, and he seems to slice her throat and then throw her, Catherine, because he's holding a gun to her neck, or a knife to her neck. And like they're trying to, they're going to be careful because they don't want her to get hurt. But he still just kind of goes like slice and then tosses her anyway.
I'd like you to watch me.
Pleasure your sister, slow and easy.
But I only got a few minutes to carve you up.
You think it's a dud?
Fubar, big time.
But she's fine, like somehow. But then we go to Plan C, which is to just put a grenade down this guy's pants and throw him down the stairs. a real live grenade.
This one's not a dud. Yeah.
I will say the fight choreography, the fight choreography for this is actually not too bad, considering a lot of times, American action movies don't usually have actors who actually know how to fight or know how to do the movements that the choreography requires. This is actually pretty well shot for what it's worth.
Yeah, and then I'm looking up something. We get to this cliche of cliches, which is Jack Palance has a room off of his main office, which is a mirror maze.
A mirror maze.
James Bond. Once again, the man with the golden gun. There is a fun house section in the man with the golden gun where Bond has to chase Scaramanga through his kind of fun house lair island. This is straight out. I'm not saying it was the inspiration for it, but it looks straight out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I know they're just going no one's going to ask any questions about any of this. But if you were to ask yourself, why would a man construct this room next to his office? It's purely so that in case anyone ever chases you into it, you can go, ha ha ha, which one's the real me? That's it. That's the only reason it exists.
Or maybe he just really likes mirror mazes. And he goes, I like to spend an hour every day looking through this maze to train my brain. I could totally picture Jack Palance doing that.
Brain training, yes.
Yeah.
Brain training. I like to, jerk off and see myself in the round.
I put Tango Jr. and Cash Jr. in there with me.
I make them watch. I let them watch.
They can't escape the mirrors.
When the one great scorer comes to write against your name, he'll mark not that you won or lost, but how you played the game. This game has cost me a lot.
To blow this maniac into the ozone.
You just gotta know which one he is.
I do.
I leave you with this thought, gentlemen.
Great. All you need now is a gun.
Got it. Business as usual.
So
But
do
you
I.
will be a meaningless...
All right, Tango. Let's take him alive.
Kneecaps on 3.
Call it.
1. 2. Hey. My sights are off.
Mine too.
Yeah.
I was trying to find where is the first instance of this. I meant to research this because this is such a cliche by the time it shows up in this movie.
What's the first appearance of this in something?
Yeah, I don't know.
This feels like a Dr. Caligari kind of weird shit.
I mean, there's definitely a whole thing with a mirrored room in the Phantom of the Opera, but that's a different... It's not a shootout. It's not the which one's the real me? They don't do that bit. So I was trying to figure out where this
Don't they do this in Enter the Dragon? Something similar to this? I'm not saying that's the first instance.
Also, doesn't it always have the same outcome? If this happens in a movie, I'm like, well, I know where this is going. It's there's a tip-off of some kind.
Yeah,
as to which one's
the real
one.
one's three-dimensional. Everybody else is a two-dimensional image. It's a fucking mirror.
Well, so Key and Peele did a bit about this. If you ever saw the sketch, it's exactly this, and the cop is just immediately who's Keegan, just immediately it's it's you. You're the real one. It's within 5 seconds. He points the gun to the right guy. It's oh no, it's yeah, it's obviously you. So that's kind of the
and they both put 2 bullets simultaneously into Jack Palance's head, and they talk about how did you know which one.
Oh, they had 2 different ways of knowing.
Yeah,
that's right.
One was that his monogram was reversed in the mirror images, right? The lettering was backwards, and the other one was that his wedding ring was on the wrong hand. In the mirrors. So.
Oh God, he's married. Wow, we didn't even get into any of that.
Nope. But they got to grab Catherine and run because again the Metroid everything blows up clock is ticking down, and so they run and of course they have to think. Well, not only is there an explosion, but they know to jump at the exact moment the explosion happens.
Of course,
so that they're thrown forward.
Sorry, back it up a second. I'm sorry, I might have missed it. How did Catherine end up okay, not slashed?
Oh, they just said, oh, they literally walk up to her and fucking Cash goes, is she okay? He goes, yeah, she'll be fine, and that's it. It's just a quick line of dialogue.
Folks, this movie's insane.
Yeah, and of course, any blown up bad guy requires a one-liner. And Stallone's line here is just such a, like, goes over like a lead balloon. It's so clumsy. He says, a lot of new pollution in the sky tonight, and they call it Perret.
Well, it looks like there's a lot of new pollution in the sky tonight, and they call it Perret.
Are you okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm okay. I'm just worried about you.
Oh, thanks. I'm probably gonna lose my arm on account of saving him.
Guthrie, come on, it's a scratch. Cash, you got sloppy, and you stumbled.
Sloppy? Tango, I took that hit for you. You know, I can't believe after all I've done for you, you're still ungrateful.
Done for me?
Yeah.
Guys, this is no time to argue.
Guthrie, he just can't accept it. He's a number 2 cop in L.A. It's just very hard for him to handle.
Yeah, dream on, Bullwinkle. Look, you got your version. I got the truth.
Why don't you just admit it, that you guys work well together?
Oh, yeah. Well, no matter what you say, Ray, I've at least earned the right to date your sister.
Over my dead body.
Deal?
Like, that's a terrible line.
It's an awful line.
It, like, you can see him like saying, like, we did this take 58 times, none of them work.
Yeah, this was the best one.
Yeah. So they're bickering, and Catherine says, "Oh, just admit it. You work well together." And he said, Cash says, "I've earned the right to date your sister. Over my dead body. Deal. High five. Freeze frame for one more trope." And then we get the newspaper that says "Heroes Again," and they're on the front page.
Doing the same high five hand pose, too.
Yeah. So, again, they made the paper for being hero cops.
Hero cops murder entire crime ring. Just everyone's gone. They're all dead. That's how they did it.
Right.
No due process.
No. Told you I put my law degree in the back pocket for this.
Yeah, that was good times for that.
Yeah. So here's the 2 other headlines on the newspaper. Children who dress for excess, very 80s. And the other one is "Ask not what the critics say." Do not, that, as if like,
right.
There's some meta shit for you. Yeah, we know you didn't like this fucking movie.
Yeah. Lonely LAPD R&D man commits suicide. That was the other. Takes own life.
His note just said, "My car."
Yo.
My hot plate. I only had 2 payments left.
Ah, jeez.
That's all it says is "oh, jeez."
His suicide note just said "ah, jeez."
Well,
it's the saddest note I've ever read. Oh man, yeah. It is really sad. Like, that's it. So what else can be said?
It doesn't have anything else to write. It
Yeah.
says, "oh, jeez."
Oh, jeez. I'm not even good at this. Yeah.
we're at the end of the movie, guys. Let's wrap it up.
It is like an improv movie, and just both like the excess of like every possible scene, and also the way things like get forgotten or not used. The fact that her throat didn't get slashed is insane to me. Like that wasn't a plot point.
If I remember correctly, fucking what's his nuts, cockney man, gets so worked up that he just basically is like, "Well, I'm just going to attack you." Like, from what I remember, he gets really worked up, and he basically says, "Well, now that you don't have a gun, I can take you out," and he's more concerned about taking them out than holding Terry Hatcher as a hostage.
It's really an acting challenge for the performer. Like, I need to make it clear that I'm so focused on these guys that I'm not even like worried about this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because when you see him throw her aside, like, he chucks her, like she goes through the air, but it doesn't look like her throat gets slashed at all. Like it's very clear, like the knife did not reach her.
Okay, that's slightly better. Yeah, I know. I spent this entire podcast ripping on it, but that's the joy of this film. I know I've been ripping on this movie the whole podcast, but that's the joy of it, is that it is just this absurd cartoon that holds no cohesion whatsoever, is just ridiculously over the top and fun, as we've said many times, and like that's the joy of it, is that it's like that nobody said no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I usually ask the question, like, why do you think this endures? I don't know that it endures, but I think there is a real fondness and a nostalgia for this era of this kind of filmmaking, these like kind of dumb action flicks of the 80s are kind of a special breed of movie that they don't make this anymore. Like any movie they try to make in this mold is something like The Other Guys, where it's like a wink and a nod, to kind of make fun of these things, but it's not like there's still this kind of sincerity to it. They still think they're making something awesome, even when it's like, again, Peter Griffin's first movie.
I think there's like an element of campiness in movies where there's the ones that work don't do it intentionally, but at the same time they're trying to like what I get out of this is like we're trying to tell a serious action movie with a lot of jokes. We want to tell we are going to try our best to write some genuine jokes in this, and we're going to write a lot of them. And because of that tonal shift of the seriousness of like people getting electrocuted and police brutality and violence and all this other stuff, but then at the same time they're making these bizarre quips about the one of the first lines Tango says is the bad guy says "fuck you," and he goes, "Sorry, I'm into blondes," and like that. What a weird thing to say to somebody, like, right?
That's one of those like comebacks that it makes you sound lamer. Like,
yeah. Once again, writing as if like if a 14-year-old thinks this is cool. I almost feel like campiness is like you write it from the perspective of a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah, and again, that's the magic of this film, is that if you show it to a very specific type of 14-year-old boy, he's going to have the time of his life watching it, but we'll also probably realize how insane it is also at the exact same time. But yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. It was kind of formative for me. I also really think that one of the reasons it's not quite all together is that it doesn't quite pick a lane.
Mm-hmm.
And so tonally it is a little bit like, is it a parody? Is it not a parody? Is it a heightened reality? It's all sorts of things. That's part of the fun of it, is that you don't really know what's around the corner because it changes like gears so quickly into like absurdity and genre and to totally different genres,
I think the closest movie franchise or movies that do this type of tonal stuff, like having this over-the-top campiness, but it takes itself seriously, are the Fast and Furious movies, right? Like, if you've seen Fast 10 or anything past Fast 5, it is just, they are bonkers. Like, the set pieces
that's what I hear.
Silly and stupid, and, like Fast, the seventh one has a moment where they are trying to, there's a moment where Vin Diesel and Jason Statham are playing chicken in cars with each other, and they are driving head first at each other, playing chicken, but neither yield. They are driving like 60 miles an hour into a head-on collision, and they both get out of the car just like, let me crack my neck, and like I just gotta shrug that off. And Vin Diesel looks at Jason Statham's car, and it's got like a reinforced like chassis or whatever. Just literally just a metal bar, like 2 or 3 metal bars going across, and he just goes, "You reinforced your chassis. It's like going into a ring with weighted gloves." You cheated at running our cars into each other. That's what you're accusing him of. You cheated at this thing we do. But the sincerity with the line delivery. Sorry, not to go off on a full Fast and Furious thing, but I feel like that tone those are the only movies I still see doing that. I think it's why I kind of still like them a lot.
A movie series that eventually Kurt Russell did show up in, and maybe there was sort of an acknowledgement of that.
He's awesome in it too. He's fun. He's really fun in the movies.
Well, he always is. But yes, it makes me realize now that if this movie had come out at the right time, we could have had 2 Tango, 2 Cash, and that would have been what the world needed. Well, I actually am pumpkining. I do need to get going. I did not expect us to talk this long about the movie.
Well, I appreciate you guys both coming on. This is a huge blast just to get into this movie and all the weirdness that it brings. I know we did all the.
It is one of a kind. That is for sure.
We did all the plugging up top, so I'll just do a little quick admin here at the end.
This will be very quick. The composer of this, I thought the soundtrack sounded like a wannabe Beverly Hills Cop. That's because it was the dude
Same
who composed
composer,
this literally wrote the Beverly Hills Cop theme. Sorry, I was trying to find a place to put that in, and I know we got to get going, but I wanted to shout that out real quick. Found that kind of amusing.
No, it was worth mentioning. It was a good call. So to wrap things up here on the admin side, of course, if you like this show, go find wherever you got it from and leave it a review. That is always appreciated. Do that for Josh's shows or any podcast you like, because that helps the algorithm, that helps more people find the show, and it makes us feel real nice on the inside, nice and fuzzy.
Feed the algorithm.
Also, should let you know we have a new sister show as well that we do called Playing by Ear. That is a monthly podcast where myself, my wife Amy, and my brother-in-law Kyle, this is a spinoff from the musical episodes we've been doing on this show. So on Playing by Ear, once a month, we take an album and break it down track by track. So if that sounds appealing, go seek that show out. If you want to get in touch with us, go to the social media portal of your choice. Those are all in the show notes as well. If you want to find us and interact with us there, that's awesome. I'd recommend you follow us on Facebook, BlueSky, or Instagram, because every Wednesday I'll post a clue as to what the next episode is going to be. So
and Truth Social.
Not that one. Not.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez.
Yeah. Oh, gee whiz. My Truth Social account got deleted. Yep, that pretty much wraps up all the admin stuff. Guys, thanks again for dropping by on this. This is so much fun. Can't thank you enough for being here.
No, thanks for inviting me. Really nice to meet you, Josh.
Nice meeting you too. Thank you for having me on, Doug. I apologize for making this over 2 hours long once again.
I will see you guys at Tango and Cash Con this year.
All right. And with that is one more entry in the Nostalgium Arcanum.
Clint Eastwood returns as Dirty Harry in Beverly Hills Robo Canine Cop and a Half 2.
Listen, Callahan, your partners have a way of dying on you. So I got you a new rookie, fresh from the academy.
Hi.
That's a new one on me. All right, Callahan, I've got some new partners for you. A woman, a cute little kid, an ugly old dog, a dinosaur, and a leprechaun.
I'll be your lucky charm.
Swell. Now look, you don't like me, and I don't like you. But we're in this together. Any questions?
Can I go potty?
For the last time, no.
You think you got problems? I'm partnered with a pig, an alien, Siamese twins, a sofa, and a second-rate mime.
Hey, I'm stuck in a box. I can't get...
Oh, well, I've created a new scale that shows which diseases I'd rather have than watch this movie. Well, we're past scurvy, leprosy, unidentified yellow discharge, and the winner is spastic colon. Good night.
Hold on there a minute, Chumley. I'm on the phone with the spastic colon people, and they're not happy. Can you hold? Oh,